Okay. Sound should be working now. Let's see. Yep, desktop audio, everything's working.
There we go.
All
It's
right,
working.
let's try it again. Is it giving us really well to do? We should be coming through.
I just tried
That's
reloading it.
Yeah, just reload it.
Twitch.
Yeah, it's
Twitch
Twitch.
does that to
Nothing
me
to
all
me.
the
I don't know.
time.
All right. All right. So welcome back, guys, to another D&D Saturday Night Wildemount Campaign, 5th edition. Glad to have you guys here. I'm your host, Ranger J 1999. About to write a very nasty letter to Windows again, saying stop turning my shit off every time we get an update. It really sucks. So, but glad to have you guys here. Hope you guys are having an awesome Saturday. We've got the cast of crew here, and we're going to do some role-playing Dungeons & Dragons style. We'll recap everything that happened before, and I'll let everybody introduce themselves here in a memento. And I'm glad to see everyone coming in the chat. We got Sage, we got Ouchie Girl, we got the Kitty Yoda. Anybody else say hi before we get started, and we'll say hi to you guys. That's what we do here.
Hi, Ranger.
Yeah, shut up, Grim. But
Well,
no,
you said everybody.
no, I'm talking to the fans, the people that matter. It's not you. All right. But no, it's a wind down of long 2 days. I mean, we streamed like mad yesterday, and then I did the Heinze stream. Didn't get any sleep. Then we did Jedi Academy. Then I did GA Center. Then I hung out with the lovely Christy and did her podcast for comic books. Bad Rongo with the sub. Thank you, sir. That's what is that? 14-month streak. Nicely done. Oh, I do owe you 2 drinks. Here you go. So let me do my 2 drinks here for Bad Rongo. And it is bourbon. The nectar of the gods. All right. I don't think we have any other announcements that's really going on with RSG. I mean, I may try to get a D&D session in tomorrow. I'm going to try. Guys, don't do your... Okay, so also... when we're doing Dungeons and Dragons, you don't use your channel points. You can donate bits and stuff like that, but the stream alerts are turned off. I don't even have them loaded. It's too distracting. We're trying to do Dungeons and Dragons. Finn, we need to do some silent ones that these guys can do that are D&D related for Saturday streams.
Yeah, where it still pops up with the graphic.
Yeah,
but doesn't
they get
do
a little
the sound,
graphic and stuff. We got to change that out because all the other ones.
Do it with subtitles. There you go.
Let's get some D&D. Yeah, let me make a note of that. D&D channel points. So you guys can do some fun stuff. Let me add that. Me and Loki have been working on that, so let me write that down. So, D&D. This pin sucks. Get that.
Yeah, make it to where somebody can spend, say, 75,000 channel points to make one character roll a 1.
No.
I already have something I'm looking into for bits, so we'll do that soon, hopefully.
Okay, yeah, well, I've got that written down. We'll work that out. All right, so there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Let me just think. Nope, I think we're good. So I'll work on that. But thank you. Just if you need to get your points redeemed, let me know. I owe you a Kermit take and Ouchie. You can have me play that anytime. That's not during D&D, but usually we have those turned off. We'll get some new ones up here for you guys. So you can use your channel points and all that stuff. But we'll do the sub thing and everything. But it's kind of distracting when you're trying to do Dungeons and Dragons. If you ever seen me do my GAC, holy moly in the frijoles, I get spammed with bits and channel points like you wouldn't believe. Oh my goodness. But it's a lot of fun. And we know you guys like it.
One of these days we should do a one-shot and have channel point and bit donation rewards to where everybody takes a drink when people does it, and then we'll do drunken dragons.
Right.
No?
I just let that wash
That would be
over me.
awesome.
Okay. Anything else? It's just we're not doing D&D now. We are doing the introduction. Ouchie girl. Kitty Yoda should have the new bits ready by next weekend. Oh, nice. New sound bits. All right. That being said, I think that's all the news, notes, things, crap, stuff. All right. I did my drinks, so we're good there. Grim, do you really want to force me to drink right now?
No, you can take one.
No, I'm going to drink it right now, Grim. And when things go bad for your character, well, let's leave it at that. Okay, let's let these awesome peeps introduce their characters. We start off with the lovely Christy.
Hi, I play Critty. I'm a half-elf bard.
There you go. Next up, we got Johnny Mo.
play as Reed Tealeaf, a halfling rogue.
There you go. Bad Rongo.
Torgalis Dinix, Dragonborn Bard.
There you go. Grim.
I'm playing as Drumzal, the orc cleric of the group.
All right. The lovely Gara.
I am playing Astra and Asima.
That's yeah. Things happened. That's what she has. We'll talk about it. Characters, just a spoiler alert,
Watched the last
died.
episode.
So yeah, that happened. Corinth.
Plays Hadalin, your Dwarven Eldritch Knight.
That's right. And last but not least, Julie Andrews is here. Go ahead and introduce your character, Julie.
I play Balin, Night Bleeder, a human sorcerer, and my accent is a lot worse than last week.
It sounds like you have a cold.
Yeah.
That is about right. It is a permanent cold that somehow went away last week.
Yeah, these things happened. All right, so let's do the intro, and then we'll break down what happened last week, and then we'll get into some D&D. Here we go.
Oh, I love that intro.
All right, there we go. All right. Finn, I made another note here. We need to redo the intro, and we need some new art. So whatever we need to do to make that happen, let me know. If I need to reach out to who. And
I'm aware of that already. I've talked about getting a new graphic for this Trinity. So.
Well, we're gonna need some new graphics, period. So, so we need to redo things. So, we'll get it done. All right. Let me get some ambiance, some music. There we go. Why is that too loud? What's this? Oh, wait a minute. Turn that down a little bit. Okay. When we last left our adventures, they are in the city of Valsalheim in Hilsilra, and they had gone. 3 of the characters had gone on a, whatever you want to call it, their vision quest, their quest to become and accepted into the priesthood of the Raven Queen. They made it there. Some things happened along the way. People met some strange people along the road, whether it was a dream or if it was whatever it is. Things happened along the way, but they did make it to Vasselheim. They stayed over at an inn, and then the next day the party went to the Temple of the Raven Queen here, and the 3 characters figured out how to get in. They got in, and then they started their actual quest for each one. Drom went through his ritual. Ashir went through her ritual, and we have Balloon, who is getting ready to go through his ritual. It is a life or death choice, and so there we go. Now the other people decided to go to the Cobalt Soul. They're Critty and Hadalin figured something about his book, and they've gone to the Cobalt Soul to do some research on this and see if they can figure out anything about what this book might entail. They have to translate the first page and figure out what kind of wording this is. They're not registering it at all. So they've decided to go to the Cobalt Soul with everybody, and then Togar, you went with them too, right? To the Cobalt Soul? Yeah, you did. Yeah. And then Reed went as well, but he was not allowed in because they know who Reed is in a past life, and said nope. But he did meet a very important monk on the outside who, through some persuasion, some talky talk, was able to get some information requested through the Cobalt Soul, even though he's not allowed access into the vault here in Vasselheim. He still was able to parlay some information and see if he can find out what he needs to find out. So that's where we start off with. We are in Vasselheim. We'll get back to the characters in the library soon enough. That being said, Finn, are you good? Like, good connection, everything like that?
I should be. Hotspot willing that it stays, but yeah.
And the sun don't shine, huh? At least if we can find a little bit. I want a little bit darker music here. Okay. All right. You weren't here, but this actually happened. You and your companions all entered the Temple of the Raven Queen here in Valsheim.
I caught up on last week. So.
Right. I'm just recapping for. Okay, yep. you know everything. So you entered with the other one at a time, and you saw your. I think who was the first one in? Gara. Gara went in first. You went in second. Drum, you were last. It doesn't really matter. But when you enter, Finn, you see the two twin priestess there. You can't really see their face. But when you walk in, you're surrounded by darkness. You can't see anything. You can't hear anything like that. But for some reason, you feel this pull in the direction that you need to go. When you finally do, you see all of a sudden a little light shines. You see a door. You go into the door, into a chamber where you see somebody, can't tell if it's a man or a woman, in black robes, symbol of the Raven Queen on their very simple, elegant robes. But you're assuming this is a woman, and by the looks of it, you can't be sure. But all they say is to undress and leave everything here. And you see that in this room, there's another door going somewhere else, and then you can see that there's a place where you can put all your equipment, your gear, and stuff like that.
Okay. And there's nobody in the room except for that one person?
Just that one person.
Okay. I will obey.
Okay. So you strip down to your birthday suit, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. So they don't see anything. They just point to the door and just put their hands down.
Actually, can I do everything except the left glove?
No.
And then see if they stop.
Nope.
Okay, so they request the left glove too.
Everything.
Then I will take off the left glove and put one.
Okay. You walk into a room. You see it's very low light, dimly lit in here. Give me a second here. I'm trying to pull up something on D&D Beyond. All right. So I'll give you the ambiance and see what you do here. All right. So you see low lit room. You see a big rectangular pool. Have you seen this before? You've seen rituals done with this before. It looks like a big pool of blood facing you. And that's all you see. Some low light torches in this room with the big pool of blood with you and nobody else.
I've been through this before, so I go.
You know the deal, yes. This actually did happen to you. You know what exactly this means.
Yep.
Do you just dive in, or do you hesitate?
I don't dive, but I go in like feet first.
Sure.
And just kind of walk in, but no hesitation.
Okay. All right. And do you just swim down and accept your... Well, you know what has to happen? You accept your fate?
Yes.
Okay. Let me pull something up here. Okay. Darkness surrounds you, Finn. I'm sorry, Balin. I said Finn. You know, when you've been streaming for 5 years with someone, these things kind of slip out.
That's what she said.
Somewhere the Raven Queen bitch slaps you with her wings. Oh no.
Dilmo arigato finno roboto.
Roboto Finn just happened.
The Raven Queen just digitized Finn.
God.
I think I'm bad.
All right.
So what happens when you call me Finn?
Uh-huh. All right. So as you enter, you just accept it. You know, you darkness encompasses you as that last as you hold out. It's not a natural feeling. You've been through this before, so you kind of know the deal. You just at the last moment just take a big gulp and just you just kind of accept it. Darkness surrounds you. You feel darkness encapsulating your entire being, and you suddenly see that the scenery changes. At first, it's very disorienting. You're not sure. You're not quite sure what is happening, but when you look down at your hands, you can see that you're kind of ethereal. You're transparent. You're like a ghost, and you see this scene coming out in front of you, and you are once again you are a small child, and you are in the city of Hilverhelm. I can't even say your damn city's name. Hilverlem. Thank you. And you remember that this was the day that you didn't really kind of understand it. You didn't quite understand. I mean, you're a small child. Your parents, were they don't. I mean, like any parents. I mean, but they were always distant. They were more strict with you and stern with you. I mean, the very overly protective, but not in a good way. Like, and this is the day you remember that you had kind of gone outside. Your parents are busy doing they're doing their thing, and you came outside and you're playing with some kids, and then you see your mom come out and immediately call you over and give you a lecture about not playing with other kids and things of that nature. And you remember just like, God, this sucks. This day sucks. I hate this day. Well, it got worse because the scene changes because you remember this day too, that in the next place you're in the center of a circle with people from around the city. It's in the middle of the night. You don't understand what's happening. And you remember this is the night that your parents fully indoctrinated you into the cult of Vecna. This is when they make you take your left hand out, and the incredible pain and suffering that you went through, and just feeling betrayed by your family, by your mother and father, who you weren't really close to, but you're a child, right? You remember this like, I was just a kid and you did this to me. And you feel the excruciating pain so much so, they wouldn't let you pull back, and then you just collapse. You don't remember anything else of that night. However, you're seeing it for the first time because you passed out. But as you are in your visage right now, you see that they wrap you up, not out of love or anything, but just more out of, okay, after everything's done, no one tries to help you, no one tries to save you. All these people are committed to the cause, and you're just wrapped up like an object more than a son or a child would be, and you're taken back to your home, and that's where you remember waking up. Make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Okay. Bear with me. I think this all works. So.
Mr. Arigato Roboto Finnegan. Okay.
Not good.
Okay.
I don't know why I rolled twice.
All right. It is now a little bit later on in your youth, where it is now the day that you remember the great attack of Vasselheim. You remember this day vividly in your mind as the scene changes and it takes you that part. And you remember this day is the day that Vecna attacks Vesselheim. And you see the giant earth monster that you remember to be as it moved closer to Vasselheim. You remember you going out to see what was happening, and the conversation as you look outside the window, thinking that this is a good thing. Thinking that your parents, being deluded as a child, that your thought process is like, Vecna's good. Vecna's going to make everything better. My mom and dad told me so. That kind of thing, like a kid would say and repeat. And this is where you have your conversations with Annabella. And you see the horror that is this attack. You remember seeing people running. It wasn't just the giant stone creature as you called it, but you could see that fire and just screams and pain and agony as you see guards running and people running and the other forces attacking the city at the same time, as it's a life and death struggle. And you remember thinking, with all this death and destruction, how can this be a good thing? You see on top of this giant stone creature, huge explosions happening on top of its form. You can't really tell what it is. Everyone can see these giant, looks like spells going off. You see flying creatures in the air, of all kinds of creatures, of wyverns and dragons and all kinds of things. You see on the ground creatures attacking the walls. You see the guards and everybody that you've ever seen doing this, and the horrible screams in the air and the agony and the pain and at this moment your whole world was turned upside down. You were brought up to believe that this was for a good reason, that this was supposed to bring about a good change, and you do not think that this is a good change. This is when your whole idea of what you were meant to believe, who Vecna was. You feel at that moment the betrayal of your parents. You're part of this, feeling used and betrayed and just so angry at that moment. Make a charisma saving throw, please. All right. I'll write that down. All right. The vision changes again. You're still in your corporal form. You are seeing another scene of you on your way to the continent of Wildemount as you were directed to. It is some small town, some small place. You've been going from town to town, place to place, trying to get to the coast. It's taking you a while to get there. You had no supplies, you had no money, you were a small kid. You've done what you needed to do. You would steal to survive, and feeling miserable, just a miserable existence. In this small little town, you see a little sign, and you look up, and it looks like it's some kind of religious building. You don't know what it is. You see it looks like a raven. You don't know anything about the Raven Queen. You've never heard of her before. You ask some nice lady who walks by that sees you in the street and ask what that is, and she tells you that it is the symbol of the Raven Queen. And you remember that this is your first time seeing this visage of the Raven Queen, and something clicks for you. something feels right about looking into the Raven Queen and what it could offer you. Which starts you on your journey to learn more about the Raven Queen. However, you always look down at your hand for the symbol of Vecna, which you keep loved at all times. You can feel the itching, burning sensation that happens sometimes on your hand as the symbol comes in and just reminds you of who you truly belong to. Make a Constitution saving throw for me, please. Okay.
Total 20.
All right. The scene shifts again. You are surrounded by darkness. And you feel yourself being dragged until you see in front of you a graveyard. And in this graveyard, you see 2 tombstones. You walk up to the tombstones. You see that these burials are common burials. But they have just one name.
Burial?
These are 2 burials. One simple, just a simple stone that says the name of your father. And then the other one, simple stone, it just says the name of your mother. And just then you see a figure in robes slowly start forming in front of you. You see what looks to be a humanoid figure with an undead creature with one eye glowing at you, the other eye missing. On his left hand, you see that there is, instead of a hand, there is a hand, but it's a magical hand. You see that this is some kind of undead wizard. Make a religion or history check, please.
One second here.
Mm-hmm.
14.
Okay. You know who this is. You know who this is. This is Vecna. Or an image. Some image of Vecna.
Am I able to move, or am I still kind of incorporeal in this thing?
You're incorporeal. You're just standing there, and he just looks at you.
So if I attempt to cast something, I'm not able to.
No. You hear the Velun. Well, my chosen, I found you. Do you say anything?
No.
Such a pity you follow the Raven Queen. I would have given you incredible power. And I still can. Magic you've never thought before. You would be my voice in the world, helping me define and keep secrets.
The pity is that I followed you ever at all.
Oh, a pity. How short-sighted. I tried to be reasonable. So let's try it another way, shall we? And then you see from these 2 graves, the body of your mother and father are yanked out of the ground with him holding them up. And you see at first they're dead, and then you see Vecna kind of tighten his fist in a ball. And at once, they both alive, waking up, their dead bodies still rotting, screaming in an ungodly, agonizing scream. You can make this stop. They are mine forever. But if you join me again, I will free their souls. If not, I will torture them forever.
Still not able to cast if I try to.
Nothing. Can't do a thing. Just sit there.
They might be yours, but I am not. I will be the end of you.
And you see him just look at you with this evil smirk, and just you see the fire engulfs both of them, and then they disappear. Very well. Mark my words, boy. I will have your soul. You think the Raven Queen can protect you from me? Wherever you go, wherever, I will find you. For all eternity, those that you love, I will destroy them. Mark my words. And then the scene shifts, and then darkness takes you again. And that's all you remember. All right. We move on back to Critty and the gang doing their Scooby-Doo adventure in the Kobold Vault.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah. Slowing Scoob, like we can't understand this language. All right. You guys are entering into the vault. When you guys enter here, it's an underground library. It's like a giant cave was carved out just for the purpose of this. You have this is just Critty. You have a moment where you think you pee yourself because you thought the one in Zadash, you haven't been to the one in Rexentrim, but you thought the one in Zadash was incredible. This blows that out of the water. This is incredible. You were seeing just books everywhere. You see your tenant who's standing by you, kind of lets you guys stand in for a moment as all three of you look at this like, wow. It's pretty impressive. Your tenant is assigned to you. So, that being said, your attendant looks at you after a moment of letting you guys see all this and just take it in. The attendant, a scholarly young boy, looks like he's in early monk training. It's like, all right, well, let me get you organized. And he goes and he brings you into the library. You just see shelves and shelves of books and just unbelievable knowledge. And he sits you down and it's like, well, you seem like good people, but I gotta watch over you. If you need any help, I'll be just right over here. If you need anything, just let me know and I can get you directed or I can help you find it.
What's your name?
Well, no one's ever asked me that before. You're a very nice lady. I'm monk training. We have a name for it. I don't want to say. He's kind of embarrassed. Like, just call me Ricky.
Well, it's lovely to meet you, Ricky. Thank you for your help.
Yeah, glad to be here. You can see though. I mean, he looks like he's about like 12 or 13, but you can see that boy's got some. He's starting to get that age. I mean, the monk training is starting to show a little bit. As he's growing up, but the muscles are starting. He's cut. So you can see that the monk training is taken seriously here. Yeah, it's part of my duties. We as monks, we got to work on our mind and work on our bodies at the same time. So, these things, this is what they are. But it's my day. We have to do, every third day we go in here and help people in the library. So, what can I help you look for? I mean, I'm not the best at it, but I'd be sure and glad to help.
Well, I appreciate that offer. Hadelin, do you want to take charge of this, or do you want me to talk?
Oh, Master Dwarf, now he sees that you're actually who you are, Hadelin. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. He immediately just ignores you, critic. He's looking at Hadelin, who's actually got rank in here. He's like, what do you need, sir?
Well, I think one of the best places to start would be if you have anything especially on ancient dwarven languages or ancient languages or something that might help translate them.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I know what section that is. Follow me. You can leave your books and stuff, whatever you want to leave here. No one's going to mess with it. And he takes you over. It takes you guys about 10 minutes to walk over. I mean, just shelves and shelves of books. And then he showed that this long line of books, shelves, and just everywhere. It's like, it's in alphabetical order. Whatever you're looking for. These are all the books we have on ancient languages and things of that nature. So, have at it. And would you guys like some water? I can go get you guys some water. You're going to be here for a while.
Thank you. That would be nice.
Okay, he goes running off. And you guys see, there's just books of all shapes and sizes here that you guys can see. Who wants to make what kind of check do I want you to do here? This will be... a history check first. Who wants to make it?
I can. I'm not 100% sure that it's working on my laptop, and I'd like to test it.
All right, let's give it the old college try there, shall we? That's pretty good,
Nope, it's not.
Can I like assist her and say, oh, well,
not really on this. You're kind of.
Okay.
This is not really your bag of. I mean, like I like dwarven stuff. I mean, you don't really.
I'm trying to fall back into kind of like teacher mode, even though I know
Sure.
I don't do it very well. I'm trying to
that's why I'm
maybe
saying.
start here and go slow.
Yeah,
and, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Even though she knows what she's doing, that's kind of
Critty's
how
doing
I'm
her
going about
thing.
it.
Critty's, did you
No,
roll?
I need to download that Google Chrome extension again.
Oh,
It's not-
okay. Let me see if I can do it for you. Let me get in here. I can do it. I got you, Crite. I don't know if I have the extension. Shit. Let's see, history. No, it's not letting me.
I swear we're professional.
We are, but I'm all I have is like the view of stuff. I don't know if I can get in here and actually roll it for them.
Well, I just got it, so give me 1 sec.
Okay.
See if it'll let me do it now.
Or you can just roll a 20-sided die and roll.
Yeah,
20.
you just add your modifier. We can do that if it doesn't work. Try to get this to work first, and then we'll take it from there.
Come on.
If you want to take her history check out of D&D Beyond, she just rolled a 21.
How do you know that?
Because it's in D&D Beyond.
Cool.
What? Where?
In the campaign 3 RSG Wildemount chat.
Where it popped up with the little blue circle around it.
I didn't even see what I rolled.
13 plus 8.
Oh, there it is. Okay. He's got a game
Very
log
cool.
here. I never knew this existed here.
I didn't either. Nice.
Wow.
I blame Finn.
It's a
Stupid
new
Finn.
feature they added, I think, about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so 21. Yeah, I mean, you start finding books about dwarven language first, Critty. It's interesting. You get a basic structure. I mean, this is kind of your forte. You start looking at stuff here. I got to say something first, though. We did get a raid. Call me amazing. Thank you for the raid, brother. Sorry, I didn't notice it. It's I did when we're doing D&D, we don't really get a
Raid
chance
is
to check the
actually
stat.
Mr. JJ Land. by the
Mr.
way.
JJ, okay. I saw raid and so Mr. JJ Land, thank you for that, whoever it was. So yes, but thank you for the raid. You do find so you know this is going to be hard because the first books you read, you start reading books just to get a basic understanding. Hadlin, you're reading this stuff too. You guys are making notes about dwarven runes, right? The language of the runes, because what you're seeing in the book is not actually the dwarven language; it's actually dwarven runes. You guys figure that out. But the books here are not matching up. These books you're finding are a couple hundred years old, but it's not going back as far as you need. So you figure, okay, after 2 hours of really studying and learning about this, okay, we need to find a book that's much older that we can compare. And then you go back and so Creedy, make another check for me, please.
Another history?
Yeah, we'll use history.
Yeah, it's still not connecting.
That's right, I got you on D&D Beyond.
26.
Yes. So you're going through these books, another 2 hours of digging through books. I mean, Hadlin, you're just like, wow, she's a machine. She looks at a book, she flips through really quick. She's like, nope. And she puts it back. Then she goes to another book. She goes down the line. She looks at another book and looks at it real quick. Nope. And then finally you find this book. And it was written by a dwarven mage. And it's not really material to you. You just know like ancient dwarven runes and how to decipher them. And it takes you a minute to figure that out because the way it's written, it's in a very older dialect of Dwarven. That's why it took you a second to kind of figure it out. And with Hadlin's help, you kind of decipher it together. He's like, is this an A or an E? You know, that kind of thing. So you guys were working together to figure it out. And then this is the book. So you guys go over and you sit down with this book. Ricky has brought you some water. And you guys are sitting there, and he looks over, like, oh, that's really cool. And then he keeps bringing you some water and just checking on you guys once in a while. And you guys are sitting there deciphering. It's going to take you a while to decipher. It takes you another 2 hours just to decipher what's on the page. And when you do, it says, Kegheim, the lost dwarven city of runic magic and architecture. Written by Mordrin.
Like, how are you spelling that?
Kegheim, Keghheim.
Cool. And then the author.
Your dwarven god.
That's who it's. Okay, I was just making sure I was understanding that correctly. So that was why.
You are absolutely correct in that.
So like Hadlin falls down to like almost his knees and has to catch himself at that point. Like he loses his breath and stuff like that. Like he didn't expect it to be that in depth, I would say, obviously.
How intriguing.
Yes, indeed. So you're able to turn the page. You see on the next page, there's nothing on the back page, nothing pops up. But on the next page, you see more runes pop up. It takes you guys another 2 hours, and you guys decipher the first part of this. You guys make a good note, but you guys see that it's a very slow process. You're getting a little bit better at it, but it's a very slow process because with Hadlin's understanding of Dwarven and your understanding of Dwarven, you're having to figure out what certain words are and what they mean. So you're trying to translate a book from an ancient Dwarven language that no longer is in use or exists. You know, it's kind of like Latin. There's if you speak another language that's related to it, you get some of the key verbiage and words, but you get bogged down, and it takes you just another 2 hours to do the first page. And it says, to whom is reading this? I, the king of the dwarfs, have imparted my knowledge to a sage to tell the story for those that would be worthy of the quest. to find and learn about the city of Kegheim. From an age long past, when the dwarves' mighty empire was greater than it is today, the city of Kegheim, no longer remembered, was a shining dwarven city and that's all you get.
Shiny dwarven city. I bet that would be beautiful. Hadelin, have you ever heard of this city?
Of course not. I don't know. I doubt anyone has.
Wow, I wonder how old it is.
He's even speaking about something older than this book. So,
And I mean, this book is pretty old. Wow.
I can't believe we even got this far. And I closed.
This is amazing.
I said, this is more. I knew that this needed to be protected, and it held some secrets. But just maybe we no one else can get a hold of this.
I can understand why you would want to say that. I mean, I like to share knowledge, but this does feel very special.
You did good, Gertie. Thank you.
Right. It is the monk boy comes over and says, all right, yeah. It's getting late in the afternoon, so if you guys are done, we're gonna shut the library down for today. You have to have special permission to continue on in the night, so you guys can come back tomorrow. But if there's nothing else you guys need.
Thank you, Ricky. We appreciate your help today.
It's my pleasure,
Thank you
sir.
for the water too. That was very kind of you.
He smiles at you. Just doing my duty.
If you provide me one of your teachers' names, I'll be sure to send a letter of recommendation for you.
He looks at you like, that's not how that works here, brother.
I don't know if that's how that works.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
yeah, it's kind of like it's about humility. You know better than that. Yeah, you say it, and he's like, yeah, do
Well,
that.
I wouldn't have said it. No.
Yeah, you wouldn't have said it. Yeah, you just you
so.
So you guys leave. Now, Reed, you've been outside all day. It's a beautiful day, man. You kind of go over, you get something to bite to eat from one of the vendors that are out there. A quick little snack. You've got your own food. You're just chilling and stuff. If there's anything you want to do, they're in there for about 8 hours at least.
I would have, after my cryptic conversation with Quinn, I would have picked up a couple of sticks off the ground. And just my dagger started carving them a little bit.
I just want to check in and see what you're doing.
I put a little piece of string across them, and I've now made a small toy sort of crossbow that I've been using to harass the crap out of the pigeons.
There you go.
In the park.
There you go. That takes you the rest of the part.
A man after my own heart.
All right. So that's what Reed's doing. Okay.
Gonna laugh, you flying rats.
Now, Bad Rongo, you went in. I'm sorry, Togar, you went in with them as well. Now, while they were doing that, they knew you just wanted to come in and you wanted to do your own research. Ricky's there, so that was their part of their journey inside the library. Togar, Ricky's there, and after he gets them squared away, he comes back. We'll say you came in, you're sitting at the desk, and he comes up. He's like, so Mr. Togar, what can I help you with today?
Yes. I'm actually going to reach into my bag and I'm going to grab the DOS loot that I got.
Okay.
I want to show it to Ricky.
Okay.
And Togar says, I just want to know, how do you play this?
Okay. And then he takes you over and he takes you to the musical section. There's two sides in this section. There's one on music history, how to play for dummies, and then there's actual music that you can actually look at that's been written, songs, books of songs, and things of that nature. So you are, I mean, this is a bard's wet dream right here. So
I'm going to interrupt Ricky though, because this is a DOS loot, a magical loot. Where's the magical instrument books?
it'll be in here as well, sir. You just have to look for it yourself. I mean, this is where we would keep anything music related. I mean, magic or otherwise. So if it's not here, I guess we can go look at another section, but it might be a little bit harder. I figured if it's a music related item, that you might want to go here first.
Okay.
All right, make a history lore check to see if you can find anything on Das Loot. What is
Really
it?
history? Okay.
Yeah,
What?
you gotta know how to research, brother.
Oh God.
What are you complaining about? You got a +6 in it.
I know.
You do find a book, actually. It's not hard to find. This isn't a it's an uncommon item, but there is a book you find that was written by a mage who that used to make these kind of instruments, and talks about some of the things that they can do. So this you when you read the section on it, the DOS lute is an instrument that is an exquisite example of its kind, superior to an ordinary instrument in every way. There's several different types of these instruments that exist, and they're each named after a legendary bard college. Creature, you know that you have to be attuned to it, so you've attuned to this. So you can play it, and it gives you one spell that you can do once a day. You can do you can cast fly, invisibility, or levitate. This one specifically. It's not as good as some of the ones you've read in here. Some of the legendary ones you find in here are like, oh my sweet God, this is what those do. And you can only cast one of those a day. So whichever one you do, you play a little jigs, you play the song, it gives you fly, invisibility, or levitate. And you can only do it once a day, and you can't do it until the next day. And you can also use this instrument to, if you want to, when you try to use the charm spell or try to charm someone, you can give them disadvantage on the save. And that's what this instrument does. After researching it wholly. Yeah. It gives you one of those 3 spells per day, and you can use it to have advantage or give disadvantage on charming somebody with the charm spell.
I can do both of those. Cast a spell and they get disadvantage on the charm.
Right, and you can use each of those once a day.
So I can only do the disadvantage once per day.
Yes.
And then I wouldn't be able to do any spells.
No, you can do the spell and this. It lets you do one of each.
Cool.
I mean, it wasn't too hard to find. I mean, it's not a that crazy of an item. I mean, it's a wondrous item, but it's not that uncommon that there's not a few of these running around. So, I think you paid for this one, right? This is paid a pretty penny. Yeah, that's what you got. It's this is an excellent. You can tell that this was excellent craftsmanship from Pumat Soul.
Awesome.
All right. And then you leave when everybody else leaves. So Reed, you're outside when you see your party of 3 come walking out. It's late afternoon, probably around 5 o'clock when they come out, and you see that they all look like they're all smiling and talking and having a good old time as they come walking out and see you.
I'll, as they're walking over, have been kicking a number of dead pigeons into the bushes.
You have not been killing pigeons in the damn park of the Cobalt Soul, damn it. Reed, don't do that. That'd be very, very bad for you. You thought about it, but you did not do that, man. Jesus. Don't make me role play that. It'll not go.
Oh, that would be bad.
Yeah.
So I'll go walking on over. So did you find anything good?
Maybe.
There were a lot of books.
That's usually the point of a library. How about you, Tolgar?
Sorry, but I think I'm stepping in dead pigeon.
No, there's no dead pigeons.
But they're not dead. They just, didn't have a fun day.
Good. I learned how to play my lute.
That's good. It's good. In the library.
In the library.
They didn't come over and shush or anything?
No, I can play my flute in 3 different ways.
That's good. It's good. Like jazz, classical, and new age, or
I don't even know where to go with that.
I don't either. And to break the fourth wall in D&D, these things happen.
Tolgar in the style of Kenny G.
Yeah.
I was going with Kenny G. Yeah.
Tolgar
G. Kenny G. Yacht Rock.
I read about this band from long ago called U2. There's some badass songs. All right.
Then I forced it on everyone's iPhone.
I know, right? All right. So you guys head back to the inn that you're staying at, which is the Stillbird Tavern. You guys have been there for a few days. You guys don't really need to go back to the library because you've got the decipher key now for this. It just takes forever to do 1 page. You can see that you're probably to do a full page because the first part was just the intro, and then half it was a half page. It took you like 2+ hours. You figure to decipher something like each page is going to take you guys, depending on your role, 4 to 8 hours a day to decipher this. And you see that there's a couple hundred pages in this book at least, and it's tedious work. But you do have the kind of the cipher key that was really translating in the cipher key was what you guys wanted.
Tedious work has my name all over it.
That's all right. As Hadlin's over there smoking on his pipe, just puff, 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 puff. All right, you guys get back to the tavern. You guys are all starving. The innkeeper comes over, the tavern owner, I'm sorry, and he get you guys something to drink. His name was Reber, and he's like, "Oh, welcome back, good ladies and sirs." And then he's asking what you want. You order it, and then you guys are sitting there and eat some food. You haven't eaten dinner. You haven't eaten all day, really. And so you guys are sitting there enjoying a meal, kind of sharing your thoughts, just having chit chat and stuff. When you see a messenger come up to you guys wearing black robes, a woman with raven black hair tied behind her. She pulls down. She comes up to you guys. Doesn't even care what you're talking about or anything. She pulls her hood down. She is a beautiful woman. You can tell she's a servant of the Raven Queen. She's like, "It is time for you to return. Your friend's quest has come to an end."
That was excellent timing.
All right.
And it's been a few days, so you guys are like, mm-hmm.
Are you meant to escort us, or?
Yes.
All
But
right.
eat your dinner. I will be outside when you're ready. And then she just walks out.
Would you want to join us?
She ignores you and walks out.
All right. I'll finish eating my 2 chickens.
All right, so you guys make your way over to the temple, and it's getting toward early evening, and you guys go there. The lady tells you to stand in front of the temple, and then she goes and walks in through that strange door, and you guys are standing there. Now, Drom, for the Raven Queen, do you want, you get a special item for this, do you want armor or a weapon?
Decisions. Let's go for a weapon.
All right.
I mean, I am a war cleric, so.
Yes, you see sitting when you come out to your experience is you come out of, just rise out of the pool, you're covered in blood, and you see the attendants there waiting for you with a black robe. You come out of the pool, they put the robe on you, they take you into another room, and then take you to another place where a bath has been prepared where you're able to wash yourself, clean yourself up, and you cleanse yourself. It takes you a little bit. You just kind of soak in this tub, and you wash yourself up, soap, you do the whole thing, you get yourself clean, and then you go back. When you're ready, they come back in, they escort you in your black robes to the room where you're at, and they leave you there. And you notice that the one weapon that you had before is gone, and in there you see a giant mace, intricately designed. It's a really cool looking mace. It looks almost like it's like ebon. It's like made of like glass. When you pick it up, you can tell it's not. It's made of some kind of strange black steel, and on it you can see throughout it, it's got the motifs of the Raven Queen on it, and it's got a raven that kind of it wraps around, and the head kind of pokes up a little bit on the top, where the raven's kind of just looking up into the air. It is a beautiful weapon, and it is a +2 weapon.
Nice.
Two-handed?
You can use it two-handed or one-handed.
Oh, a versatile one. Okay. Let's see. How am I going to put this in the sheet here?
Just find a mace +2. That's all you have to do. Balloon. Are you there, Finn? Did we lose Finn? Finn there? Finn?
Hmm?
What, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Finn, same thing happens to you. You just explode out of the water. The blood, and there's an attendant there. They put robes on you. They walk into a room where you're able to bathe, and you clean yourself up. And no, do you want weapon or armor?
Like, do I see what they are beforehand?
Nope.
Like, I'll go weapon then.
All right. You after you bathe and clean yourself up, takes a little while. The attendant's there. You got towels. You dry off. They put the black robes on you again, and both of those robes are symbolic of you becoming full priest of the Raven Queen. You now are both priests of the Raven Queen. When you go in, you see a beautiful, polished, white-handled, made of ivory. You pick it up and you see that the blade, the cross piece is that of a raven, and it's got this very long black steel blade, and you have a +2 longsword now.
Very cool.
And then it's so weird. You guys are doing this at different times, but for some reason, magic, you don't know how this happens. As you both leave, you both come out of your rooms, and as you do, you face each other. And then you look down this row. The hallway, all of a sudden, at least the outside, is lit up. And you see, to your left in this hallway, you see 2 women pull down their hoods, and when you do, they see these white, silver-haired elves standing there, and they both bow to you and say, "Welcome, brothers, to the service of the Raven Queen," and they bow to you. And then as you look down the rest of the hallway, you see lined up are all these other, what you think are just figures in black hoods. They all take their hoods off at once. And you see it's all different types of women of different ages. And they all bow. And the two elves come up to you, and they come, as you look at them, they each put a little symbol on you, showing you that you are now full priest of the Raven Queen. And they both look at you like, go forth, our brothers. And they say it at the same time in the same voice. I can't do the effect, but it's just imagine they're both saying it at the same time.
Whoa, stereo.
No, Grim. And then you guys, they say, now, go forward and represent Our Lady of the Night. And they're all bowing to you as you guys walk down this hallway to the door to the entrance. And you guys see...
Oh, I was good.
No, go ahead.
Continue going.
No, okay. So
I was good.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, so we're walking to the entrance is down there, and it's just Balloon and Drum, right?
Yeah.
Drum's gonna ask, you know, where's Ashira?
Hopefully she gets done with her soon.
Is she still in her trial?
The one looks at you. Ashira did not accept the Raven Queen.
I will begin to look puzzled over and look at Drum.
What do you mean by not to accept?
I mean, it's a life or death choice. She chose death. And they don't say it with any kind of emotion or anything. They just say it like, you know, because this is the Church of the Raven Queen. They don't view death like other people do. It's a natural part of the cycle of mortality. For them, it's like she died, you know.
Well, Drum does not look happy at all.
Where is she? Can we see her?
No, you may not. Her journey was her own. Your journey was your own. Accept it. This is the service of the Raven Queen. And they just stare at you. Do you guys do anything else, or?
Drum is just sitting there. Oh yeah, we did just lose Finn. Uh-oh.
Yeah, the Raven Queen actually got Finn.
Does that mean we get Ashira back?
No.
Instead of Finn? No. I'm joking.
She resurrected him at the sound of your joy.
Awful, all of you.
Karma punch him. All right.
Well, speaking of punching.
Seriously, what do you guys do? You're just standing there with these two high priestess looking at you.
I asked, sorry, my connection dropped as I
was Roboto Finn.
Do it, say it again, you're breaking up. Oh, no.
Oh, no. See her? Where is she? Can we see her? Where is she?
You may not see her, and we will not tell you. Her journey was her own.
So, what type of saving throw would it be to like, not lash out, or 2 lash out.
That's just something your character has to
Like
do.
he's clenching his fists and he's pissed.
It's. I mean, the elves are not stopping you from feeling anything. They're just telling you that this is the deal. Accept it. I mean, they look at you like this is the path. You guys just stand there?
Well,
I'm gonna sit and begin a prayer for Ashira.
Prayers have already been said for her. We will handle the rest.
No prayer has been said by me, and I will continue.
This is not the appropriate place, brother, to say a prayer here. If you would like to say a prayer, you can go to the actual chapel and say one.
I will begin heading to the chapel.
But first, your friends are outside. Greet them and then handle your prayers.
I will literally just like speed walk past them and just say, I need to head to the chapel, and just walk past them and go straight to the chapel.
You don't know where it is?
yeah.
Oh, we don't know where it is?
Nope.
I'll ask. Okay, where is the chapel? I'll ask the elves first before I leave.
The elves just look at you like, we will take you once you have talked to your friends. This is your duty as a servant of the Raven Queen.
Come on, Balloon. Let's go.
Kind of not happy, tears rolling down the cheek. I will follow Drum.
Yeah.
All right.
Drom storms off. If the chicks are in the way, he's pushing right past them.
No, you're not. You would not ever touch a high priest. Like, high priest is bowing to you in respect for you.
No. I mean, like, not like going over.
They're not. They're not in their way.
In my way. Move. Push.
No, yeah, they're not in the.
like,
They're not in the way. There's nobody in your way. They're just they're lying against the wall. They're showing you the respect for you for becoming priest of the Raven Queen. You know, this is for them a celebration of you achieving what not many do. You know, you guys remember that this was a life and death choice. This was a decision that had profound impact and repercussions. I mean, you know, as you guys walk outside, you remember that as you start feeling the loss and the anger and start going through the cycle of emotions as you guys walk outside to see your friends. You guys go through the doors. They open for you now with no problem. Mark in your sheet said you have full access to the temple. For the most part, there's still places off limits, but you are priests now. You guys are standing outside while this is all happening. You see 2 of your companions come walking out of the door. You see both of them carrying new weapons and looking different. They look like they've been through something extraordinary. More full of life and vigor, but a presence about them that's changed. Something about them is different. You can't quite put your finger on it, but they look different to you guys. It's one of those things like there's something about you. I just don't know what it is yet. But they both coming out, and you can see that they are fully dressed, polished. It's been quite a few days since you've seen them. They come walking out of the door. You can see Balloon's crying. And you see that Drom is got to look like he did when Blint gave him that sausage and he was about to rip his head off.
Oh, not to mention Drom's teared up too, but he's pissed.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah, you guys see your friends. I mean, what do you guys do? Yeah, Critty says, are you guys okay? What are the rest of you guys doing? You just see your friends after a few days.
You have nice fancy clothes and nice fancy weapons. What are you sad about?
Kira did not make it.
What do you mean Ashira didn't make it? What?
I just bow my head and don't say another word.
Valen, what do you mean?
They removed her from the Order of the Raven Queen, or what?
I'm gonna look at Drom to see
Kira?
what he's doing for. Does Drom look like he's in any mood to talk at the moment?
I don't know, Drom.
No.
Okay.
So then
He looks like he's ready to cave somebody's skull in. Let's just put it that way.
That's what I
with his
figured.
bare hands.
Yes, that's what I was kind of figuring. I just wanted to make sure. This was a journey with the choice of life or death. Kira apparently chose death.
What do you mean apparently?
We're not able to see her. This is only what we've been told.
Why would she do that? Makes no sense. She
It
showed
must have been
more faith than either of you had, in my opinion.
I can only speak for my own, and the trial is not an easy one. Shira's must have been more difficult than she anticipated.
So, is there going to be a funeral or
You
wake
guys,
or anything?
yeah, from your guys' understanding that what the priestess were telling you is that they will, this Church of the Raven Queen, they will make sure that she is taken care of. You know that for a fact that they will do that. So you can tell them that.
Can we go to the ceremony or the rite or whatever they're doing?
You know that you cannot. They're not allowed.
I plan on heading to the chapel to do my own prayer if you would like to join for that.
They're even going to let me onto the building.
As Balloon says something about going to pray, Drum takes off into town.
Oh boy. I'll look at Ballard and I'll say if you do get to see her, say a few words over for me, and I'm going to take off after Drum.
I will stay behind and look for the elves to try and ask them where the chapel is.
Okay. So you go back in. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'll tell everyone, by the way, that I'm going to go find where the chapel is, and I'll be right back.
All right. So you go back in.
Yeah, to ask the two elves where the chapel is. Correct.
Well, you go back inside and you see that everyone's gone. You do see that there is a woman there. Now that you are a priest, you see that she's an archpriestess. She's a middle-aged woman, brownish hair and stuff. And she looks at you and she's like, yes, brother. Congratulations on becoming a priest. It's quite a feat that you've done there, my friend.
Thank you, archpriestess. Could you tell me where the chapel is?
Yes, I can take you there.
So please let me get my friends so they can accompany me.
Do you vouch for them?
Yes, I do.
Very well. Grab your friends.
And I'll go back out and ask for all of the remaining ones to follow.
All right. Sure enough, you go in, you grab everybody else. You guys are escorted into the building. A door magically opens, and you go through a hallway, and then it leads into another room. Beautiful room, mainly in dark brown and black. The pews are nice. You can see that it's definitely to the Raven Queen. You see a raven, a beautiful statue of the raven. It's actually in black. That's on a pedestal. You can see there's somewhere where someone probably does something. There is a prayer kind of rug in the front. You guys are escorted to sit in one of the pews. Critty, Reed, Togar, Hadelin, and then no, Reed, you went after Drum.
I went after Drum. I
Okay.
wouldn't be
Yeah,
there.
the rest of you guys are escorted to the pew, and then she escorts you over to where you can pray, and then she kneels down next to you, and you guys both pray together, and then she says, "I will light a candle for your friend for the afterlife." And then she goes up, and then she lights one of the black candles on the altar, and you see it kind of flares up for a moment, and then it goes to a normal light. She blows it out, and then she goes and leads you guys to your prayers. So you make your prayer there, Bellin, to the Raven Queen. What do you say in your prayer?
That I want Ashir to have a safe journey through the afterlife. Wherever she is, that she is content with the decision she's made and finds happiness.
All right. So you guys have your moments of in the chapel. Reed,
There's one other thing.
yes.
At the very end, there will be a kind of a, I don't know how to say it, just kind of a general statement. If there is a way to bring Ashira back, please let me know.
You get no response. All right. Reed, you go tearing off after Drum, who's just walking that angry walk, fast paced. So you have to kind of run to catch up to him. And then you do catch up to him a little bit down the path as you guys are leaving the area of the Raven Queen. You start getting into other parts of the city. He's going somewhere. You don't know where, but you're following him. You catch up to him.
Drum, where are you going?
Is Grim there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I need, sniffle. I need a drink. And for some strange reason, I lost my access here. I need a drink.
I understand that. I know Ashiro's like a sister to you.
It's more than that.
What more? I mean,
I'll explain when we get someplace where we can get a drink.
all right, do me a favor. Slow your pace just a hair. I'm taking 8 steps for every one of yours. So.
Okay, he backs it off to 7 steps per one.
That's right, kind of you. That's why I don't have a heart attack before we get there.
All right, Drum, where you headed? You're leading.
I'm walking until I see the sign of a tavern.
Well, do you ask Reed if there's a tavern he knows? Because they've been here for a few days.
That's a good idea then. Hey, Reed, where's the nearest tavern?
You passed it about a half a block ago.
So you guys turn around and go
shit.
back.
I turn around and go back.
Yeah. So this time you let Reed lead you back, so the pace is much.
Perception
slower.
rolls suck when you're pissed off. And,
They do. You
eyes
don't
not
think
working.
right.
Yeah, you guys go in and you see the tavern owner there, this inn tavern that you guys have been staying at, and it's like he knows. He just comes up and he sees both you just sit down, and it's, one of those good barkeepers. They just know when something's up. It's like, oh, Master Reed, He goes, on the house, and he just puts 2 stiff drinks in front of you guys.
Thank you.
He gives you a wink, and then he kind of looks at your friend and just gives Drum a nod, and then he walks off. You need anything else, you just let me know.
I'm sure we will.
All right. So you guys are sitting there, and this is some stout dwarven ale. It's not spirits, it's just good dwarven ale. It's got a nice kick to it.
Yep. And Drum tries to take it all down in one glug.
Well, you can do that. It's not spirits. It's just ale.
I'll take a good whiff of it.
It's got a good it's got a good taste to it. It's strong, but you like it. It's not bad. Tell it's a little bit pricey, but when's that ever stopped you guys before?
I'll sort of spin the mug so that the handle faces towards Drum and slide it over to him. So you need this a bit more than I do. So drink up.
You have no idea. Down that one too.
No, I had a sister once. I know what it's like to lose one. So.
Yeah, I had one before. See, back when I was a kid, life was good for me and my family, but some bad things happened and I lost them all.
I can relate to that.
And yes, that was Drum sniffling. And I'll wait for the barkeep for some more.
He waves you guys over to the bar itself. It's like, oh, all right, come here, you two. And then you guys go up to the bar.
Oh yeah.
All right. He's like,
yeah.
He just I can tell from your glum looks something bad happened. It's not my business to tell, but he pulls out a really nice. You see him corking one of his jugs, and he's like, "All right, you two." And then he fills up your glasses. I'll keep them coming. Just give me a gold, and we'll keep it going for the rest of the night. What do you say?
I'll throw 2 golds down on the bar.
Yeah, and then he actually fills one up with you, and he's like, "You want to tell old Reaver what's going on, or do you just want to drink in silence and just remember?"
I'll just look at Drum and say, it's your choice. You're the one who's hurting more right now.
Yeah. Just lost somebody that was very important to me.
What was her name?
Her name was Ashira.
Oh, who wouldn't know that? So what was what was their name? Not who. Yeah. Her.
Yeah.
Shira.
I got the gist.
Yeah. Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. And then he raises his glass to Ashira.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Takes a big drink, and then he goes and takes a big swing himself. And couple of the barmaids and waitresses, serving wenches, comes over, and he kind of whispers something to them, and you kind of get the sect like, I'm gonna be with these guys for a little while, take care of the customers, and then you guys are sitting there drinking, and it's like, yeah, it's never easy to lose someone. I lost my wife many years ago. After I'd settled down from me adventuring days. So, to life and to death. And then he holds his glass up again.
Well, to life I'll do that, but to death he does. Drum is kind of hesitant for that.
Yeah. So you guys.
I'll drink to half of that one.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are doing that. All right, the rest of you guys.
Yeah, I pretty much my character fills Johnny's character in on what happened to Drum's little family and how he grew up with Ashira, and how Ashira was the closest thing he had to family afterwards. So
yeah, and you guys kind of this is a conversation. You guys are there for a little while. And
You get to
Reaver
see an
actually,
orc
so,
cry.
you share that, and then Reaver shares his story too about how he lost his wife. She was an adventurer like him. They had been married, and they went on these adventures. They never had a chance to have kids, and so why he hung up his weapon because he lost her and a while back, and tells a story with you guys. So you guys are just kind of sharing stories. I don't know if you share anything, Reed, along those lines or anything.
No,
Or...
I'll discuss how the family was murdered.
So you guys are guys are sharing, this pain as you drink, and you slow down the drinking a little bit because the conversation is just as soothing as the alcohol is, right? So you're more intent on listening to one another as you guys just feel comfortable. You're just sharing these stories of experiences. All right. For the rest of the group, you guys are there for how long are you going to be there, Balin, praying?
The Shira, so probably at least a couple hours.
All right. Do the rest of you stay in there the whole time? The rest of you, or do you guys leave?
No, I'm gonna leave
Okay.
and go to the tavern.
All right.
I want to search around the temple.
Okay, go. You see different. There's nothing of. There is stuff of value here, but it's not. I mean, you see different images. There's actually a mural on the left side as you come in that you really didn't see in the beginning, but as you get closer, it's actually a beautiful portrayal. You see the Raven Queen in this shadowy realm with her hand raised up, as you see these lines of like souls coming to her. Her hands out raised to them as she's bringing them, and then on the other side of the mural you can see the souls going to different places as it looks like she's the gatekeeper to all this. You just see the mask on her face, you don't, with her long hair, but you don't see anything really else. It's kind of interpretive, and then on the other side you see the souls going to different places. You see some representation of heaven and hell and other places to this interpretation of this artwork. It's actually quite fabulous. As a bard, you have an appreciation for this. I mean, there's some other statues, things of that nature that are in here, quite good, but they're probably priceless, but there's nothing like gold or anything like that in there, Togar. If that's what you're looking for.
No, I'm actually a little sad that Ashir is dead. I'm looking for some kind of like something inside of this religion place that you just stuck the atheist into.
I mean, the image. I mean, the image calls to you. I mean, you don't. You know the gods exist, Togar. You just don't pray to them. You don't worship them. You don't have any faith in them. You do know that they exist, and they're as real as anything else, just like magic is real in this world. But yeah, I mean,
that's why I'm looking to see, like, I want to go see if there's like the other rooms that I can get to in whatever building we're in.
You try to leave. There's a priestess that's standing there performing vigils. She's like, "Can I help you, sir?"
I wanted to see what was over there.
You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific. We don't just let people just wander around here.
Let me break out my loot. My DOS loot.
She says, "Sir, we don't. No music, please, and no magical items."
Ouch.
She kind of smiles at you. She's actually she's in early 20s. She's attractive for a human, you think.
So how do I get to tour the rest of the biddies?
Well, what are you trying to see, sir? I can escort you, but you just can't go wandering off your loan.
Well, the paintings and the statues in the last room were exquisite. I was just hoping that you might be able to show me the rest of the grounds.
She thinks about that for a moment. And she kind of smiles at you mischievously. I can show you something. Come with me. And then she takes you down. Go to the path, and she takes you there. Another door opens up magically. She goes through. She's like, come with me. And you guys start walking down steps upon steps upon steps that go down and down and down and down and round and round and round. And then finally you come to another door. And then she looks at you mischievously, and then she smiles, and then she opens this door, and then you walk in, and then you see this on the left and the right side. You can see graves, and then they look like their bodies. They're all wrapped up in black cloth, so you can't actually see the actual corpse. You just know that it's there, Togar. He says, these are the catacombs. And as you walk, you see different, all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, monuments and statues to the Raven Queen and to actual people here. And she kind of shows who this archpriestess was. And you see all kinds of just fantastical stuff down here. I mean, it's macabre. It's very macabre, but it doesn't feel unnatural. These are all the people, why Valsalheim is so important, that these, the people here remembered. These were servants of the Raven Queen. She tells you different stories about some of the more famous ones, maybe not you never heard of before. She kind of gets a sense that you're a bard, and that maybe these kind of stories are something you would be interested in. And you kind of eat it up. I mean, it's really cool to learn a little bit of history about who these people were that you see all these bodies for, and she explains why they're laid here, their importance and what they represent, and that if you have faith in here, you can come down here and actually speak to their soul and communicate with them. And so, it's also kind of like a wisdom depository for any high archpriestess that wants to come down here, that maybe needs to learn something that maybe someone might have experience with. And she kind of gives you a tour of the place, and it's kind of cool. You see all kinds of cool stuff down there, skulls and other stuff like that. So, and it seems to go on forever. It's like this giant underground catacomb, and you see vault after vault after vault, 2 or 3 stacked high, with these bodies laid in perfectly, well preserved. You can tell that they take care of this area. There's no cobwebs. There are torches everywhere you go. It's very pristine, although macabre. And then after the tour, she takes you back to your friends. Good enough for you, sir?
I guess so. Thank you so much. Your name?
Melina.
Melina. Melina, which one was your favorite story down there?
All of them, actually. I learned something from each one.
Is that where our friend is going to go?
I can't tell you that.
All right. Thank you, Melina.
All right.
And then I'll head back over to the...
Yeah, she brings you back to the church. Anybody else? Yeah. Critty, you left. Howlin', anything? Yes, no?
I stay with Balin.
Okay. Togar, you come back at the end there, and you guys will head back. So, Critty, after a little bit, you say your prayers and sit there as you see Balin just chanting and singing prayers. And after a little while... And you just, you think you've said what you need to say, or whatever it is on your mind, and it just feels right. You go back to the tavern, and when you get there, you walk through the streets, melancholy, and it's a sad day, and you've lost a friend, and you walk in, and you see, as you walk in, you see there's people here. It's early evening. There's people ordering stuff, and you see Drom and Reed. Drinking and hanging out with the bartender.
Reed still has that initial first glass in front of him.
Right, yeah, I figured you were be doing that. Drom looks a little inebriated, but not really bad. But Reed looks like he's in control of his faculties. So does the barkeep.
I'd like a dwarven ale, please, barkeep.
He says, I figured you might there, lass. And then he comes over and gives you a big stout dwarven ale.
Is that the Constitution saving throw
Nope.
kind?
No.
Oh. No, I want the Constitution saving throw kind.
Oh, you be wanting the dwarven spirits? Is that well?
Yes, please.
Let's start with this one. Get you built up with your tolerance, and then we'll give you the spirits.
No, sir. I'd like a spirit thing.
He just he looks at you desperately, Reed, and Drum like, "Oh God, help me here."
Screw it, you heard the lady. Pretty
He
first
just
things
starts
first.
laughing. He's like, "All right, Missy, you know I like a woman who knows what she wants," and he just gives you a shot glass of this stuff. It's like, I can't give you any more of this, just morally, lass. So if you can handle this, I'll give you more. But prove to me you can handle your liquor.
I'll pull a chair over for her.
Yeah. There's a bar stool there.
First.
Yeah, there's a stool there. Yeah. So Reed gets
I'll make sure I
behind
get
you.
her one with a back.
Yeah, actually, there's no back, but Reed getting behind you, Critty. Drum, you're seeing this. What do you do, man? You've been here before, brother.
Oh, she's her own woman.
All right, Critty, make that. You see Critty just take the shot and then make a Constitution saving throw, Critty.
Yes.
Handles it like a champ. Just shoots it down. Drum, you're speechless. Reed, you're in shock, and the barkeep is just laughing his ass off. All right, we got
I'm beginning
ourselves
to
a
think
drinker.
this is a conspiracy.
All right.
I'll climb back up into my bar stool from behind Critty.
It's strong
Thankful she didn't
stuff,
land on
Critty.
me.
Yeah, it's strong stuff. You're like, wow. I mean, it hits you immediately. You feel it go down. It's just a little burning. This is your first time drinking it. It's not bad taste. It's just a really strong alcoholic
I'm gonna
taste.
slam it down and say to Ashira.
And then you see the barkeep. He's been drinking. He's got his mug up. Ah, Tashira is indeed. Seems like she was a lovely lady. Would you like another shot, ma'am?
No, thank you.
He brings you over a dwarven ale. It's like, on the house. And then he comes over to you and leans over. Would you like something to eat, sweetie?
No, thank you.
And he's like, all right. And then it's like he ignored you. He just went back and he came back with a little snack food for you guys. So he brings like some cheese and meats if you guys are hungry and stuff.
Thank you.
He touches your hand. It's all right, dear. It's all right. And then, yeah, you guys are sitting there with him and he's like, I'll be back. Because it is picking up now. So he's having to come back he leaves for about 5-10 minutes. He comes back for a few minutes and joins in the conversation as you guys are talking. So Critty's there. She just did a shot of dwarven spirits and now she's got an ale. And you guys say anything? What's the conversation?
I'll push my glass over in front of Critty.
I just noticed that Ashira's kitty is in front of the it's like, wait, did Ashira do something there? What was Gar doing over there? Oh, it's a kitty. Sorry.
Gar's final action was to cast
she turned into, she reincarnated as a cat. There we go. All right,
I don't
sorry.
think Bruce is going to like that.
No. All right. You guys say anything, or you just kind of just look at each other and sit in silence? What do you guys do?
Did you leave the others there and come alone, Critty, or on their way?
Yeah, Balin didn't look like he was going to move anytime tonight. And I don't mind the Raven Queen, but I'm not one of her followers, so I thought it was a little weird if I just sat there watching him.
Oh, where's Togar?
I don't know.
Oh God,
He
you think he
wandered
converted?
I don't know.
Did he sign up maybe to be a follower of the Raven Queen or a priest or something?
Another thing is, why didn't they ask us?
To be priests of the Raven Queen? I mean, I'm not 100% sure. Drum, you probably know better than me, but I would imagine to become a priest of the Raven Queen, you gotta be a follower first.
What were you saying, Critty? You guys kind of talked over each other there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did. For a second there, I thought it was a Scottish person talking because I didn't catch a word of that.
Hardy. All right. What do you say to that, Drum?
He looks just as confused.
All right. Drum's no help. He's been drinking.
Yeah, he's been drinking, and he's emotionally compromised right now too. So, yeah.
All right. So Togar, Balloon, Hadlin, we'll say you guys finish up at the church. So later at night, you guys head back to the tavern. You guys see your friends at the bar, and then the Reaver sees you guys come in, and then he tells you three to come with him, and he moves you guys over to your own private table. Yeah.
Sorry, one thing before, and I'm back at my place. So I'm going to switch here in 1 second. But one thing I wanted to do before leaving the temple is I wanted to draw a card.
Okay, go for it.
So I'll give it a shot. It is the fight card that actually has Hadlin on it.
Oh, cool.
So if you're near me, Hadlin,
does it say, "Oh yeah"?
That the card says fight, and it actually has your picture on it.
Macho dwarf Hadlin Savage.
I was thinking Kool-Aid Man.
Does that stir anything in Hadlin when I see that, Ranger?
Unless he shows it to you, no.
Well, because I was the one that was left standing near him.
Yeah, Hadlin would see it if he was near me while praying. I'm not really trying to hide it.
Make a perception check, Hadlin, if you're paying attention.
Yeah, because I didn't want to leave him alone. That was the whole point.
Yeah, you see it. I mean, it's not that hard. Let me look something up here.
So I at least stand up and like turn around and look around and see if I notice anything or if anything stirs in me, kind of situation.
No, that's necessarily not. Doesn't necessarily that's what that means. I'm looking something up here. Huh. Okay. I had to do an interpretation of something. Okay. All right. So you guys do that. You draw that card. And you guys head back to the tavern. And at that point, the barkeep kind of sits you guys up with your own table and brings drinks to everybody, stiff drinks. Even to you, Balin. Doesn't care if you just want water or not. He brings a stiff drink and water. He leaves the option open to you.
No, I'm taking Dwarven Spirits.
You are actually going to drink Dwarven... Oh, my sweet... You guys all... Yeah, Critty... It's like, yeah, be a man, drink some Dwarven Spirits, because they just tell you how Critty just gulped it down like it was nothing. And so, Balin, make a Constitution saving throw. Mm-hmm. So, Drom, you're feeling ashamed right now because both Balin and Critty have both just drinking Dwarven Spirits like it was nothing. It's your first time, Balin, drinking Dwarven Spirits? It's
No, I've had it before.
Okay, but you know that it's a sensation. It's like, wow, it hits you right in the gut, and you're just like, woo. And
I'm just thinking that they're the barkeep was nice enough to water it down for him.
Do you tell that to the barkeep?
Put your money where your mouth is, Drom. You drink some.
You're gonna drink? Oh, you've been challenged, Drom. What do you do?
Okay, bring me one.
All right.
Oh, dear Lord.
Reaver comes over and he's like,
Reed, you might have to save us after this.
All right.
There's no way I can carry all.
So Reaver comes over. He's like, I heard what you were saying, and he takes a shot of it. It's like, whew, strong stuff, but it's not watered down, my friend. Why don't you give it a try? And he puts some in front of you.
Yeah, no.
Jesus Christ.
Or Drom.
Drom's like, I can do this, and then he takes a big shot of it. He looks at everybody. He's like, and then just collapses. Once again, Drom has been defeated.
Maybe it's better that way.
Drom's been defeated by dwarven spirits and has happy dreams of naked orc women massaging his head.
So I'm gonna toss the barkeep like 2 gold and just say, keep the dwarven spirits coming, and my goal is to see how many I can take before I literally just pass out.
He's like, are you sure, sir? It's strong stuff.
I'm sure.
Have you first floor bedrooms?
We've got you covered.
Good. Have you a hand truck?
I'll help you take your friend up. And
Thank
then he's kind of curious about this. He's like, all right, my friend. He puts a little glass in front of you. He pours you some more dwarf spirits. Away we go.
Okay, should I just keep going one by one?
Yeah, do it one by one.
21.
You just drink it. Now it's a little.
Like I said, it's a goddamn conspiracy.
You see, Balin, you guys have never seen this before. Just take this drink and just pound it. Hadlin, you were actually perking up like, God dang. And, you know, you want to do it again, Balin?
Yeah, number 3.
All right, number 3, let's go.
Oh, God.
Christ.
God, he sobers up from it.
I mean, Balin's like, this ain't nothing. And the barkeep is just amazed looking at you like, you're not human. You're not human. And actually, people coming around now looking at you. It's like, folks, how many of these bets are starting to be taking place and stuff? Like, how many of these can you do? So people are starting to make bets if you guys want to jump in. And you hear a guy going, I'll give 3 to 2 odds. As they see this happening right now. You have advantage on your next save there, Balin.
Okay.
He pours you
Togar puts 50 gold down that Balin will make this next shot.
All right, people are like, and people start betting against you and stuff. So you got like 200 gold in the pot right now because the whole bar is just going with coppers and silvers and stuff like that. So the bet is match. I meant 200 pieces. It's not 200 gold.
And by doing that, I want to let Balin know that he's like, I got you, Balin. Balin, you got this. You're doing this. And I'm going to inspire Balin.
I'm not going to let you do that on this one. Sorry. All right, make your roll, Balin, as the barkeep pours you another one, and people are like, you know, drink.
Okay. Number 4.
Jesus Christ. All right, yeah, you do it with no problem, and people are like, shit, and everyone's just like paying you money. I think you make 50 gold there, Togar, and all the bets, and they're like, double or nothing.
I'm going to put the 200 back down on there.
Well, it's 200 pieces. It equaled 50 gold that you put down. They covered your bets, and so the odds were, you know.
So I'm putting 100 gold down now.
You just keep it in there like, I bet you're saying yeah. And people
and on this one is when I get to inspire Balin.
No, you don't. Not for this.
Why?
One. Because I'm doing something here. So.
Okay. I still let it ride. 100 gold.
Yeah, you also know that this would be bad form. Honestly, you've been in these situations, many a bar, many a tavern, that you can get knifed doing something like that. Yeah. So yeah, you know better. I'm just saying your character would know better than to pull some shit like that. So doesn't mean you can't gamble. All right, Balin, you gonna do another shot?
Yeah.
All right, Balin doesn't. You guys are just people are just cheering you on. It's like that scene in Indiana Jones and stuff, man. It's just unbelievable. And he pours you another dwarven spirits, and you pass out.
And while I pass out, I say for Ashira before my head.
Yeah, and then he just collapses onto the table. And people are like, oh! And people take their money, and you know.
I'll throw a rag under his forehead before the impact to try to soften it some.
Make a dexterity check. See if we can get it there before his
Come
head
on, roll a
falls.
1 so you actually slam his head into the bar instead of stop it.
Yeah, you did.
13.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's not a hard DC there. Yeah, you get a quick rag underneath him, and then he's drooling. Balin's drooling. Drom's drooling. You guys are. Drom is actually just completely just you know. But I'm gonna say Balin's just you're knocked out, but it's really not that bad. As well as you did, man. You handled your liquor quite well, sir. All right, so the rest of the people were cheering and start laughing and stuff as you see Balin collapse and their laughs and roars and all kinds of stuff, and Reaver's just chuckling to himself, laughing out loud with everybody else, and kind of pats Balin on the back and it's like, oh, after that display, is there anybody else here who would like to give it a whirl? And everybody starts perking up like, anybody else? And then people are like, oh, and there he said, all right, enjoy your ales. And he brings some more food for you guys. And the rest, you guys say anything else to each other for the rest of the night?
No, I'll stay fairly silent.
So you guys contemplate, think about the share in your own ways, your own specific ways. And yeah, you guys contemplate your own memories of a share, the happy times, the times that you remember the best with her and stuff like that. And you all kind of have that nod to one another, like, for Shira. And you all are kind of like sharing the emotion with each other. Little taps here on the shoulder, little nods here and there for your good friend Ashira, who is no longer with you. And then you guys, later on, as you guys have been drinking, you're all a little inebriated. You look over like, oh God, we have to take both these potato heads upstairs. But the barkeep has a friend that comes in over and they help you get them into their rooms, and you guys bed down for the night. And that's where we're going to take our break. All right, we'll be back in 11 minutes. This is our little break, so I can go wee-wee, so you can go wee-wee. A lot of it. And get something to drink, refill your drinks, get something to snack on, and we'll be back in 11 minutes. See you in 11 minutes.
Hey everyone, Finity from Reality Skewed Gamers here, and I wanted to take a minute to thank every one of our fan and viewers out there for showing your love and support for RSG. Now, how can you continue to show your love and support for RSG? Well, first off, a simple thing, head on to our Discord. A growing community of gamers, great place for you. So if you're not on our Discord already, !Discord in chat will give you the link to join our Discord. And if you want to show your support for RSG as well, Twitch provides a lot of different ways where you can do that. Now, not only can you donate bits, and there's also a link down below for our stream elements where you can donate directly, but of course, Twitch provides the options for giving us your subscriptions. Now, we always appreciate all of our fans for subscribing, and of course, those that use your Twitch Prime on our channel, because we know you only get one of those, so spending it on RSG is a big deal, and we always appreciate it. And if you want to help others also to experience the true nature of RSG, you can also gift a sub to anyone in the chat as well. And for those of you that are Twitch Prime members, if you've given it to us before, we would always appreciate to get it again, but Twitch Prime does require you to do it each month. So if you haven't renewed your Twitch Prime already, whether you give it to RSG or another content creator, make sure you use that Twitch Prime, because that is a handy resource to help all content creators. RSG would not be here if it was not for all of the support from our viewers, and we hope to continue growing our channel and our charity efforts with your help. So for that, I, Infinity with Reality Skewed Gamers, want to thank everyone out there and of course show you our love. So what I wanted to go over with you guys today is some of the artwork that you see in our D&D streams. You may have seen some of the artwork here done by the awesome Silverbolt from the community, and he has drawn all of the characters for this D&D campaign. But you really just see them in our little zoom windows, which is a little bit small, So I wanted to show these in full size so you could see some of the intricate details that he did put together. So this character is the one that you may recognize as being played by Jaisa BM, and this is Alunath. She is a half-elf ranger, and you can see a lot of the details here with the use of her longbow, the sword that is kind of on her side there, and of course, the awesome little headband that Jaisa also wears on the stream as she plays her character. Next up is Ashira. Ashira is played by Gera Aurelios, and she is a warlock that is an Aasimar. Now, if you're not familiar with Aasimars, Aasimars are a really cool race in general. They are basically effectively Fallens of Celestials, so they have some really cool tricks. So hopefully we'll see whether or not Gera uses this and shows them to the members of the party. But she is a warlock, and this is a really cool, you can see that one of the key things about this, which was really cool because it was just the general concept, she has a crowbar on her back. Now, this was a really fun thing in the character development, and Gera really wanted to make sure that the crowbar was there, and Silverbolt did a great job of including it. The next one we have is Balin. That is my character. He is a human sorcerer. Now, he has some special abilities, and you guys will hopefully be able to see some of those as we progress, but you notice something very specific about this. You may not realize it, so I'm going to point out some of the little details here that are very easy to miss. One of them is that his left hand is the one that is glowing with the energy. Keep that in mind as you see my character doing certain things, but it is relevant, and Silverbolt did a great job of capturing it. The other part is that the tips of his hair up top are green, except for a ponytail that you can see coming off the right side of his head, which is black. Now, there is some significance for that. At some point, you may or may not find out about it. We'll see when the characters get into that part of the history, but there are some really intricate details that Silverbolt did include. The next one is Dromzel. Now, Dromzel is a orc cleric played by Grim, and you can see a lot of cool things about here. Of course, the metal armor, the great sword, and of course, the fire in his hand. Now, he is a cleric, but he does have some magic abilities, including things like Sacred Flame and other spells that can be cast by a cleric. So Grim is going to be there. You can see him as the massive orc. So make sure you watch for this character as well. The next one is Hadalin. Hadalin is our pipe-smoking dwarf fighter. He's a sword and board dwarf. You see it now with the axe, with the shield. You would have seen it in the combat here that we just had. And this is Corinth's character. Now, Hadalin is kind of that cantankerous dwarf. He is not the most charismatic of folks, but he is there with the party trying to help them survive and effectively babysitting us, as you kind of have seen. The next one is Reed. Speaking of babysitting, he is the closest equivalent looking to a baby. I know it came up in the second episode about how his height is about the same as a child. Reed is a halfling rogue. He is our stealth expert here. He is our rogue, which if you guys are familiar with rogues, they are the skill monkeys, and this is played by Johnny Moe. Now, the skill monkey is one that has a whole bunch of skills, and we will see all of the abilities that Reed has throughout this campaign. And then last but not least, our over-the-top dragonborn bard, Togar, played by Bad Rongo, or as some people in the community like to call him, Bard Rongo. He is a flute-playing dragonborn. You'll notice some little things about him. His appearance is that of a dragonborn, but there's certain features that make him a little bit smaller looking, and that is because his history makes him the runt of the dragonborn litter, so to speak. And Silverbolt did a great job of capturing some of these details. So these are some of the drawings that you guys can see in greater picture now. Thanks a lot to Silverbolt for drawing these. I hope you guys kind of like seeing this artwork up close and you enjoy it. We're getting ready for the second half here, but here's one more announcement before we kick it off. As we get ready to start again, I wanted to thank all of our viewers out there, especially the new ones, for of course watching the RSG channel. Now, for those of you that are new here, RSG is a very professional gaming channel, and we are here to provide you quality content. And so I wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown of everything that RSG covers regularly. So from Mondays to Fridays during the 12 o'clock Eastern Time hour, we have on YouTube a live stream that we call the RSG Lunch Hour. Now this is there to get you through the doldrums of the day, largely covers Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes as our primary game, but we talk about anything and everything for you. Now on Mondays, we do have Marbles Monday. Now Marbles is a fun interactive Twitch game that if you are not familiar with, is really, really fun. And the way we do it at RSG is always a little bit different than the normal play. So please come out on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and join us for Marbles on Stream. On Tuesday nights, we have our Don't Starve Together Tuesdays. And it's just what it sounds like, Don't Starve Together on Tuesday nights. And that's what we do at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with a great group of friends from the community. On Wednesday nights on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern Time is our longest running Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes live stream, which covers the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes game. It is the longest running live stream in the galaxy for the game. So if you guys are interested in that or just want to check out what the game is about, make sure to head to that on our YouTube channel. On Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we have coverage of State of Survival, another mobile app game. And so if you guys are interested in fighting zombies and surviving the apocalypse, make sure you check that out on YouTube. At 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturdays, we have Jedi Academy. Jedi Academy is a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes based stream. It's a pure question and answer stream done and hosted by RSG with a great group of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content creators there to answer questions for the community for about 2 hours. So if you want to have your questions answered about this mobile game, head to our channel on YouTube on 10 a.m. Eastern Time and make sure that you are there to get your questions answered. On Twitch at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we have our D&D campaign right here. You guys are watching that now, and we really appreciate it and hope you guys are enjoying it, and we will continue to do this at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, we have our Star Wars Dungeons & Dragons campaign. That's right, 2 Dungeons & Dragons campaign, our regular normal D&D 5e on Saturdays, and Star Wars on YouTube. So make sure you check that out as well. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch, we have our Sunday Night Gaming. Now this is where we will rotate different games and just have fun with a group from the RSG community, and of course with you guys in chat. Some will be interactive, some will just be fun, some will be ridiculous. But even beyond all of these, from a Monday to Sunday schedule, we will have random streams throughout the week, both on YouTube and on Twitch. So make sure that while you guys are here on Twitch, you hit that follow button so you can get notified whenever we go live. And with that, we're about to get started here with our Dungeons & Dragons stream. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little break, taken some time off, and get ready for the second half of the campaign. And on that note, I am Infinity with Reality Skewed Gamers. Thank you guys for watching and hope you enjoy the second half.
Okay, there we go, and we are back. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the little break. Got something to drink, get something to eat. There you go. And yeah, so we continue on with the game. All right, everybody. Is it Sherry there? Last time I was, oh, yes, she is. Okay, good. Last time I was worried because I saw the kitty. I'm like, oh God, she transformed. All right. Make sure everything's working, the mics and stuff. Let me just check some stuff real quick. Okay, we're good there. I gotcha. Okay, Ashira. From where we left off last time, All right. So, after what happened last episode, you feel yourself drifting, and your consciousness needs. It feels like your consciousness is exploring the cosmos in this speed of light motion. It feels vast, but at the same time, it's you just can't register what's happening. You feel like you're being pulled. You feel like your whole body is being separate, and it's not painful, but you just feel like your whole very essence, your being, your core, is being changed. The whole your whole being altered. And as the lights and the stars fly by and lights and all this strange stuff that happens, you feel your body and your soul like you're being taken apart and being put back together again. And you know, time doesn't have any meaning here. You don't understand. I mean, you have no earthly idea what is going on, other than just you feel this profound change in who you are. The essence of who you are stays the same, but other parts of you are different now. Other things are different about you. And then all of a sudden, just in a flash, you wake up in the middle of the forest somewhere. You don't know how. Naked. It's the middle of the night. The stars are out. As you kind of come to consciousness, you look around and you see laid out before you shining armor, a sword with the symbol of Corlon embedded in it, and same with your armor. You see your cloak is there as well, and all your clothes and equipment is just laid out next to you. As you wake up in this beautiful, kind of in the middle of this forest, this nice little green field. Can't really get your bearings yet, but I'm gonna assume you put on your clothes and stuff.
That is a correct assumption.
Okay. Unless you want to carry it in your arms.
No, I would like to put my clothes on.
Yes, you put your stuff on. The armor is an armor you've never felt before. It's beautifully crafted. It's elven. It's got this shine to it, this silver shine to it, like almost white in its glow. The moon is mostly out tonight, and it's a clear night, and it glimmers in the moonlight. You put on all your stuff, and then you pick up this sword, and this sword is unbelievable. It's an elven design. Think like kind of Lord of the Rings, but not the big ones, a slender sword. You kind of see like you kind of see the elves use in the beginning of the movie. They're slender, more slender, kind of like what Arwen uses when she's facing the Nazgul. It kind of looks like that. It's a long sword. You pick it in your hand. It's the weight's perfect. It's silver, almost white in its inception. It's a beautifully crafted sword with leaves design along the whole blade, intricately designed. The metal is like anything you've never seen before. And you put on all your stuff, and you kind of look around, and then this, out of the woods, you see this beautiful white horse come barreling up to you and just stands in front of you.
I gently reach my hand out.
It lets you pet it.
And I ask it, "What is your name?"
Doesn't say anything, but it kind of comes around you just playfully and kind of nudges you like, "All right, get on me."
And I get on the horse.
All right, you grab its mane. There's no saddle, but it feels natural. And the horse starts galloping off. You gallop through the night, still kind of, you're not tired, you're not anything. You've never felt better in your entire life. You gallop through the night out of the woods, and then you hit this road. Make a survival check if you want to figure out where you're at. I mean, it's not that hard. You're on the road that's leading you back into Vasselheim. You can't quite tell how far it is. You don't quite see the city yet until you ride through the night. You don't get tired. You don't get fatigued. The horse is doing all the work. It never tires either. It's a beautiful night. And you ride all the way through till the next morning. And then as you get in the early morning hours, you see the sun start coming over the horizon. You stop for a moment, stop the horse, and you kind of look at the new sun. The sun's hitting you for the first time, and you have a moment. You just kind of soak it all in as you're on the outskirts of Vasselheim, and then you make your way. You see the city. So, where do you go? What do you do?
I start looking for my friends.
Okay. You've been to Vasselheim before. You can kind of know where it is. You don't know. I don't know if you knew where they were staying. Well, you did stay in that one tavern the first night, right? You guys didn't go to the temple till later.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so you would know where that was at. It's now early morning. The sun's out by the time you make your way through. It's a busy day here in Vasselheim, and you make your way into the city. No problems getting in. You make it in. You go to the. You head toward the tavern. The rest of you guys. Balin, you wake up with a little bit of a headache, but nothing bad. Drom, you wake up and death has hit you once again over the head and has just slobbered all over you. You feel awful. You've got cotton mouth. You feel like death has hit you.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, the rest of you a little bit, Critty, you're a little, a little hungover, not real bad, more just like you feel a little dehydrated and stuff, but you're like, you're just like, I'll just brush my teeth and get something to eat and I'll feel better. The rest of you kind of feel the same way. You did put one on, but it wasn't too bad. You guys didn't go bananas. Balin, you just feel like, oh, I need something for this head. My head's ringing, but it's not bad. It's just more of an annoying kind of a headache. It's not like it's not full throbbing. It's just like, it's like in the back of your head and you just like, God, that's annoying. You guys all make your way down to get some breakfast, and Reber's already ahead of you. He's got that nice, good, greasy eggs and bacon and tons of biscuits for you guys to sop up the alcohol that's sitting in your guts right now. And presents to you guys breakfast. You guys are able to eat. Does anybody say anything or have a conversation?
How did a lot of you feel? You all drank fairly well last night.
Still doesn't take away the pain of losing Ashira.
Nothing will.
Who am I supposed to fight, Balin?
I look at him. The cards are not always as literal as it seems.
I like literal. Tell me who I'm supposed to fight.
I wish I knew.
Well, so, Balin, when you went back into the temple, will there be any sort of public service for her or any of the such?
There is going to be a prayer done, but I do not believe that we are able to attend.
That's a right bit annoying.
That is why I did my own.
You and Drum have anything else you need to do here?
Ranger,
Yeah.
I want to, from the vision, see if I can identify where the two graves were. Where, if I can maybe recognize where that.
Make an
scene-
Arcana check.
Okay. Arcana. Okay. Total 20.
Yeah, so you realize that this actually it was in your vision you figured out that it's not actually, you don't know where your parents are located. That the vision was not so much a vision, but it was illusionary magic with the scenery and stuff. Vecna was actually showing you something he wanted you to see, and he's all about lies and deception and secrets anyway. It was more to try to tempt you back to him, or force your way back to him, more than anything. It was more symbolic than it was actual, you think, truth of the matter. Although, knowing all that, your parents' soul kind of had you thinking, but you don't think that it wasn't an actual place. I mean, it was such a static and like a neutral area. You're just like, right. So it was more of him trying to mind fuck you more than anything. You're able to tell that through your Arcana.
Got it. Okay.
So, I mean, since we're near enough to it, do you, I don't know, what to go and visit your old home, or...
Honestly, I don't know.
I mean, I've never been to this area before. Are there any, I don't know, sights we should see, or...
A lot of it was destroyed during the battle with Vecna. I have not been here since, so I may not know anything really worth seeing anymore.
That's fair enough. I mean...
Maybe it is worth going over there.
The rest of you up to maybe a day or two diversion to just go and see where Balan grew up, or...
I may have seen where they may bury Ashira.
Is it somewhere we might be able to get
Where
to?
would that be?
In the catacombs below the temple you were praying in. Your friend Maligna took me for a nice tour around.
The only thing is, I do not think we are welcome.
I've got so many stories now. We should go down and hear them again.
Do you think they'd let us into the catacombs?
They let me.
But not during a ceremony.
We go down after and get Ashira back.
You, Balin, and Drom know that is so wrong in so many ways.
Yeah.
Hogar doesn't.
I know, but you guys know that is, oh boy.
As much as I want her back. As much as I want her back, her future now lies with the Raven Queen, where the other. I hope she does return, but that's all I can do. It is all just hope.
Well, all right. I mean, I know that yesterday, you two were still inside the temple, and you three went to the library, and in between me becoming the bane of the existent pigeons, I heard enough people talking here and there. Sounds like there's some fairly interesting things in this town now. I don't know. Do we want to, spend the day tooling around town and then leave in the morning, or? We're looking to leave today. We could go see Ballad's village. You said it was only a day or so away, right?
Less than that, yeah.
What do the rest of you think?
I'm up for that.
Which one, option A or B?
Either, honestly, but I think maybe we could. No one else wants to stay here, then we can go. But if you have anything they want to do, we just do that first since we're here.
What about going back to your fancy book library?
I mean, Balin, if you're interested in going to the library, I kind of told everybody I'm a sage of the Cobalt Soul in case you are interested.
Oh yeah, newsflash.
How long have you been a sage of the Cobalt Soul?
Better part of 40 years.
Will they allow me in?
I'll allow you in. That's where you want to go, that's where we'll go. Gritty did a pretty good job there.
You see a very
All kinds of
confused
stuff.
look on Balin's face right now. He is simultaneously sad and intrigued at the same time. So he's just kind of unsure right now.
Maybe there's some stuff there that might tell you what happened to the city since you've been gone. Be a good distraction at least.
All right. Ashira, you pull up to the tavern, and the horse people are kind of giving you some looks and stuff, but you slowly walk up to the tavern. And you remember where you staying. You don't know if your friends are there, but you think this might be a good place for some information. If they're not, you get off the horse, and the horse just kind of gives you a nudge and starts walking away, like it's taking you to where you needed to go, and now it's leaving. So you're in front of the tavern. What do you do?
Well, I look at the horse and I kind of wave and I say thank you, and then I turn around.
Yeah, kind of, and then it's just it walks off. And it's weird because people are not paying attention to a horse walking in the middle of the street. And then as you watch it, it starts walking away. It just kind of slowly fades away. No one seems to notice.
And then I walk into the tavern.
All right, you walk into the tavern and you see your friends at a table eating breakfast, looking quite disheveled, looking like they really are recovering from a long night of drinking. It's definitely the morning after, and you walk in at the same time. You guys all look as this person walks in, and you see Ashira walk into the tavern, but she looks a little bit different. You see her in this exquisite chainmail armor. You see her with this sword on her hip. You see her black hair is not pulled up. Or what color's your hair? I don't remember.
Red.
It's red. So red, and you see that in it, it's got a light blue streak in it. Her hair is not. It's completely down and long. One side's pulled over, and you see that. Another strange thing is her ears look. As you're looking at her in shock, you notice that. Her ear's a little bit more pointier than you remember. And she walks in and just looks at you guys. Sherry, you see them. And What is everybody's reaction when you see Ashir walk into the tavern?
I jump up and run and hug her.
I give her
I
a
immediately
hug
cast
back.
Detect Magic right in her direction.
My hand goes to my axe by Mortis' beard. Just better be what's going on is real. I don't want to have to. You know what?
I'm gonna keep it.
I just look to Balin.
I'll keep an eye on Drum.
What is wrong with you guys? Ashira's here. They lied to us.
I do not believe they lied to you, lady.
Said you were
And-
dead and you're not.
I was dead, actually.
Well, you look fantastic for being dead.
I feel fantastic. Well, my body feels fantastic. My brain is a little not so okay with being dead, but you know, being dead will do that, and it's okay. You know, they should be, they are right to be skeptical, especially after the vampires. That was quite the incident.
You have a point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. It's good to be back, and I pat her on the back, and then I make my way over to Drum, and I give him a big hug.
Drum, what do you do?
He is
Shocked.
very confused and shocked. Yeah.
Yeah, Drum kind of does that little pet, like he doesn't believe that it's really you. Sure, he's just his mouth wide open, just like, What do the rest of you guys do?
I'll walk over to her. I'll just poke, just sort of touch her arm.
It's real.
And I kneel down and I give him a big hug.
I hug her back.
Yeah, she smells like flowers in nature. Dude, she smells pretty good.
Like someone who slept in the bushes.
But nice scents, lavender and all these other scents come off of her hair and stuff.
I'll take a deep breath and then I'll whisper in her ear, "I'm glad you're all right. Wasn't your time yet."
What do the rest of
Thank you.
What do the rest of you guys do?
Bad Ronco is gonna walk up to her, or Togar's gonna walk up to her and say, "Girl, something looks different about you. Tell us what you did."
Theater God. And I walk away from them and I go to the bartender and I order an ale.
Oh, I haven't seen you around here before, ma'am. Reber's the name. I'm the owner of this establishment. It's good to see a fine elven person in my establishment. Haven't had one in a while. What can I get you, lady?
Ashira.
You just see him just freeze. What is your name?
Ashira, could I have a alcoholic beverage, please? I've had a rough night.
He doesn't even look down. He just starts pouring, and you see he's like the drink is overflowing, and he just doesn't even look or care. He just hands it over to you, and shakes his head and just keeps staring at you like, what?
And I just start drinking.
All right. Do you sit there and drink at the bar, or you go back to your friends?
I finish that one, order 2 more, and then I go back.
He just keeps. He doesn't look at you. He just pours and just looks at you and just keeps handing it to you.
I'll walk over and I'll throw 5 gold up on the bar.
He doesn't even pay attention. He just mouth open, just.
Yeah, we're all a little dumbstruck by it too.
I mean, what?
I'm gonna say just go with it for now.
I need a break, and then he just pours another drink of cherry. He just walks out.
That is how I feel. And then I walk back over to the table where everyone else is sitting.
They're all just kind of staring. I don't know, Creedy, are you staring at her dumbfounded like?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm totally on board with this.
Okay. What about the rest of you? I mean,
Nothing out of the ordinary for me. I think that the elves lied to me, and she's been fine all along.
Okay.
Not even. I'm taking this in stride.
All right. Sure, you sit down with the rest of your compatriots who are just staring at you, except for Critty's just being Critty, just smiling and, you know, but everyone else is just staring at you like you're this aberration. So the floor is yours, Ashura. What do you do and what do you say?
So, as you all know, I was going through some trials, and in these trials, I remembered something that I had forgotten, or something that I had deliberately blocked out of my memory, and it made it impossible to continue on as it I was given an opportunity that I had a moment's decision to make with regard to this information that I previously hadn't had, and continuing on the path that I was on. And well, you know, gods are funny creatures, and I felt torn between a god who basically raped me into marriage but treated me very well, and another god that let my parents die but were taking care of them in the afterlife. And with those two choices, I don't know that there was one that I could have made a good one out of. And so here I am. And I am very, very confused and conflicted. And I'm just going to keep drinking these beers. And then I just start drinking.
That seems reasonable enough. I'll reach into my bag. I'll pull out my little reaching stick, and I'll push the plate of bacon closer to Ashira.
You just keep the plate of bacon in your purse?
No, he
I
used a
used the stick
to push the bacon toward you, not using his hand. Like, don't bite me.
Little T-Rex arms, you know, it's a little difficult to really push things around the table.
Alright, not the bacon.
You are starving, Ashira. Like
I mean, I eat the bacon.
you would keep wanting more food. You have never been this hungry in your life. It just registers that you have not eaten in how long, and then you just start gobbling food down.
I'll wait till the bartender reappears. I'll just go over. I'll throw another 5 gold on top of the 5 that I'd already put in this. Just fill her up, whatever she wants, food, drink, whatever. Let me know if I owe you more.
Right.
Togar's gonna look over at Balloon and say, "You didn't touch Ashira, right?"
Not yet.
So what happened to her?
Like, did any of us notice any of the markings on her armor and stuff?
Make a religion check.
15.
Yeah, you recognize it as a symbol of Coralon. It is not of the Raven Queen. She is no longer of the Raven Queen. You know this. Anybody else wants to figure that out can roll a religion check.
All right.
Sure. Why not?
I'll be confused with the Shira. That sounds good.
I rolled a 17.
Drum.
Yeah, I rolled a 16.
Wow,
You
seriously?
know that you do know that's not the Raven Queen. You're convinced of that. You've never been more convinced of anything in your life. Balin, you and Drum are convinced that it is definitely, she is not a part of the team of Ravenness. And you think
This is what happens when you go to Raven Queen school.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
You're such a devout follower of one team, you can't recognize the other uniforms.
Yeah, it doesn't register.
When you have some cool stuff to say that are planned, the decide to say no, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. What do you think, you're some kind of Jedi? Hadlin, Togar, Reed, Critty, you all recognize that the symbology that on here is of Corlon, the greater deity, the chief deity of the elves. And she looks, not only does she have those angelic features that she had before, but she has elven ears. That's the other thing you guys notice.
So I'm guessing Coralon was the less horrible of the two gods you were dealing with.
I just look over at him and I start crying. And I'm like, I don't know. It was a decision I made in a moment. And I just start weeping. And
I'll scoot over next to her and I'll just hold her hand. It's all right. It's all right.
Toga will reach over, Reed, and start hugging Reed from behind, and Ashira.
I don't know how you feel about that, Ashira, with Togar coming in for a group hug.
I mean, I am just beside myself with what has happened, and I'm fine. I'm fine with the comfort.
All right.
I'm just so torn apart about what has happened.
Reed is totally blindsided as he goes eye patch first into chainmail.
Yes.
Oh!
It smells nice, though, as your face is pressed against her.
It's lavender chainmail.
Wonder if it'll leave a mark.
I'll come back with the symbol of Coralon, like, embedded in his forehead.
I know, right? Little leaf designs on his face.
Yeah.
Smushed. All right.
Ashira, no matter what, we'll help you figure this out. We're here for you.
I know, but the Raven Queen is all I've ever had, and now she's gone. And even if it didn't happen in the way that, like, even if I didn't make that choice, she was still really good to me for such a long time. And I don't even know what I'm doing, and I don't know who I am anymore. And then I just put my head back on the table.
In my mind, I'm hearing like that whole chunk with like his hand in the blender going through the whole story, like
and then I was in the movie theater and I got to made this
and everyone started throwing up. It was horrible.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Shira, do you do anything else? You guys do anything else? Or Shira's just sobbing on the table.
I really know who I need to fight. Who am I supposed to fight now? Because it would help.
Togar's gonna feel a little rumbling around his stomach crotch area and realize he hugged Reed by accident. And I'll back off a little bit and dust him off.
I'll peel my face off the chainmail. Thank you, Togar. Yeah. I'll reach onto the plate of bacon. Start helping myself again.
Having not said a word to Ashira yet, I turn immediately to Hadlin. Can we go to that library now?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right.
And I get up and
I down whatever drink was in front of me, and maybe someone's to the left or the right of me too.
That's probably mine. I'm leaving whatever food was there since Ashira walked in because I haven't eaten.
Wait, did you do detect magic, Finn?
Yeah, I did detect magic.
All right.
The main purpose, by the way, I know she has maybe some magical items and stuff on her, but the main thing is to figure out whether or not she's an illusion.
Oh, definitely not an illusion. Armor, magical sword, You get a sense magical, cloak magical. Just her whole, it kind of glows like a white blue, the everything.
Okay.
Which you know is a good sign. I mean, it's...
As long as she's not an illusion.
No, she's definitely not an illusion.
Yep. So I don't say a word to Ashira, and I get up and leave now, going to the library.
All right. Is everybody else going to the library? What's everyone else doing? You see Hadlin and Balin going to the library.
Not gonna let me in anyway, so.
I'd like to stay at the tavern and translate a couple pages of the book.
Yeah, you can probably get one done. You think today? It's very time consuming.
The book stays with Hadlin.
Then you go with Hadlin to the library to to go decipher which is where he's going anyway. I guess he wants to go do some more research.
So Hadlin is going to the library, and I'm tagging along, trying to peek in his backpack.
Yeah, you keep slapping your hand like, no.
Basically, yeah.
Kitty's running around like a little kid, like, come on, let me just see. No. Anybody else going to the library?
Come on, I won't touch it. No.
Just see.
Actually, Drom orders another plate of the anti-hangover stuff because he thinks he's hallucinating.
It's lots of biscuits and gravy and bacon and eggs, and you just chomp it down. The meal was well paid for, so you can eat as much as you like. All right. So, Critty, Hadlin, Balin, you guys are all going to the library. Anybody else going? Okay, so the rest of you, Togar, Drom, Reed, you guys are sitting there with Ashira, who's just sitting there. Sure, do you lift your head up at all, or you just,
I'm mostly sobbing, and anytime I lift my head up, I'm just drinking booze.
All right.
Togar's gonna ask her about the pointy ears.
You ask her.
Did you get a little work done?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you've not seen yourself in a mirror yet.
Did you get a little work done?
I'll reach down into my pack and I'll pull out my small steel mirror. I'll brush it off and I'll hand it over to her.
That looks horrible. And then I'll look at my ears.
Yeah, I mean, you hadn't noticed this before, but there's actually a piercing in your ear. Gorgeous diamond. Kind of accentuates your ear. But you do have pointy elfin ears. And then you notice the blue streak in your hair. It's kind of cool. It's right in the middle of your hair. It just seems like it's your natural hair. It doesn't look dyed or anything. That's the cool thing about it. You look the same. You still have that same face. Everything, just little slight variations and stuff.
Well, that's a new thing that happened. And then I just hand the mirror back to Reed.
Do you still have your wings?
And then I'll pull out radiance, and so my eyes get black, and my wings come out.
Yeah, the opposite happens when you do that. Your eyes glow white, and your wings are brown. And the Reaver's like, wow.
Well, so that's new.
This is
I like it.
thing that happens.
You got some work done? You got some color? I thought Togar thinks it looks amazing on you.
What am I going to do without the Raven thing? Who is this new god I've committed myself to? I just start shaking the table. I don't know what I'm doing. And I just push it over.
I grabbed the tray of bacon before the table was over.
Save the food.
Drum, you
Saving
just
the bacon is a smart
saving
thing.
the most important thing.
yeah, Drum,
You
you
gotta
just
save your bacon.
I'm right.
Literally, you're saving.
you see Reber come over to you, the tavern owner. He's like, "All right, madam, I can't be having you throwing the stuff around here. Why don't you come back to the bar for a second?"
And I look up at him and like I'm like crying and I'm like, I'm so sorry, sir.
It's all right, dear. It's all right. Come on over here. He says he brings you over to the bar, and he looks at you guys. Can you like pick that up for me, please? You see the waitresses are picking up plates and silverware and stuff like that. Reed's got the plate of bacon and eating it. He sits you down and says, "Tell old Reber what's on your mind. What can I answer for you?" Pours you a nice ale.
Sir, you are very kind. But I
Well,
don't even know my body anymore. And I like start touching my ears and my hair and my wings. And I'm just like,
well,
I
you're, if I'm not mistaken, aren't you a follower of Coralon?
I apparently this is who I am now, but I was not this, so not very long ago, and I don't know who this is. I don't know how to be this, and I just,
Yeah, I'm sure
I-
you'll figure it out. But
how am I I spent my whole life with dedication to the Raven Queen, and now I am with another. It's like I went to sleep, married to one person who was not the best person, but very kind and took care of me, and then I woke up, and now I'm married to another person who I don't know, and let my parents get murdered. I don't. He's.
well, I would say this. I'll say this. I'll
Do you
say
have more
this.
ale, kind sir?
I can answer a few questions for you. A few. Take it from an old, crusty veteran like myself. Coralon, if you're going to be a follower of Coralon, makes sense if you're being elf. I don't know about this other business. Your friends told me you died the other day. I don't know what that's all about, but apparently you've been given a new chance, we'll call it. Now, what would you like to know about Coralon? I happen to be one of those traveled veterans. What can I tell you?
I just feel like it happened so fast. Like,
Well,
you should
did
have-
you? Well, hold on, madam. Hold on. Did you make the choice yourself, or was this brought upon you against your will?
both.
Well, if you love the Raven Queen so much, why didn't you stay with her?
Because I had forgotten that I had entered in that pact, not of my free will, and that was most upsetting, and I did not feel like I could move forward with someone who took my choice away, but it's all I've ever known, and I think I'm allowed to be sad about that.
I think you're allowed to be sad about that. But there's none better out there than Coralon. I'll tell you that much. I've had some dealings with the elves, and the Elven Pantheon stands for a lot of things that I believe in.
And I'm an elf now, and I never was an elf before, and I don't know who I am
He's
anymore.
looking at you hard. He's like, I don't think you're a true elf. I'd say you're a half elf. Your ears.
Definitely not true elf. I don't know.
You got a little bit of that celestial look to you too. So I don't know your lineage, but that's what it looks like to me.
Why was I even born in Asimov?
Oh, that's something, dear, you can't control. It's like anyone that's born a tiefling or an Azamar, it happens that way. It's just in the blood, and it can skip generations, and then the next thing you know, someone's born like that.
I thought it was because I was born to serve the Raven Queen, and now I find out that wasn't even the original. That wasn't even the choice. And now, was that what I was supposed to be? Am I supposed to be doing something else? Like, how am I supposed to fulfill this? I don't even know.
Well, you'll figure it out. You go through and you figure it out. You go each day and you pray or, find the answers you're looking for and just be yourself.
Maybe I'll pray tomorrow. But today I drink.
I'm all right with that. And he pours you another drink.
Thank you.
You guys help clean up the overthrown table and stuff?
I have systematically eaten every piece of bacon on the tray.
All right. Okay. Critty.
Helgar just nudges Critty for one of them. You got that press the digit handy?
But you guys, it doesn't take you that long just to get.
Critty left.
Yeah, Critty's gone.
Oh, that's right. She's attached to a dwarf. Dang it.
So you guys get it all cleaned up. You help pick up the stuff and Shira continues to drink. Now you guys go back to the library. Hadalin, Balin, and Critty. You get back to the library. They know who you are now. They've seen you before, so they let you in. Ricky's your guide again. It's still his duty days to escort. It's like, oh, you guys are back. Great. What can I get you for today? He goes and gets you guys set up at a different table, but he's like, okay, what are you guys looking for today? He looks at you, Hadlin, first.
We'll definitely need a workplace, but I look to Balin. Is there anything specific you're looking for?
There are a few things I'm looking for, yes.
All right. What do you... I'll start with you then. What are you looking for, sir?
I'm looking for books about Coralon first.
Okay. Oh, that's easy. We got a God section. Anything else?
The whereabouts of Grog Stormjaw.
Who?
Grog.
Grog who? He's looking at you like he doesn't know who that name is.
He is one from the... Oh, crap. It's not the Mighty Nine.
You mean Vox Machina?
Vox Machina, thank you.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that'll be all in the Gods mythical section. There's a whole thing about that. We all know about the Vox Machina. They're celebrated legends here.
What about from the other side? I'm looking also for Arkan the Cruel.
I mean, you can go in the God section and religious stuff. I mean, the first one, Coralon's pretty easy. I don't know if we have anything on Grog. There might be some books about Vox Machina back there. That might be in the historical section. The other person you're going to have to find. I don't know what section that would be under. Sorry.
Yeah, I look at Adlin. Can we begin searching?
Well, you can. He'll just like, you know what? Sir Hadlin, what do you need? And Critty, right? Your name's Critty?
Mm-hmm.
Lady Critty? Okay. What are you two looking for today?
We'll just be continuing to do research on our previous topic, unless she has something specific she wants.
I like the ambiance here.
Oh, well, okay. And I'll bring you some water. It looks like you guys will have another full day of doing what you do. And then he's like, all right, let me go take Mr. Balin here and get him squared away. So he goes and takes you over to the God section, and he's like looking and he looks at a piece of paper. He's like, yeah, he pulls out a book. He's like, this is a great book, I think, on all the religious studies on elves and the elven pantheon. So you want to start with that and then read what you want, and then you can go back, read that, and then I'll go see if I can find a book on Grog, and this other one, I don't know what we're going to find.
Thank you.
All right, so you go back, and he escorts you back, and then he comes and a few minutes later brings you guys some glasses of water, and you guys set the books down. You guys start translating. It takes you the full day, but it's really weird. So the last line, it says, and then as you translate the rest, it's going to take you guys, it takes you the rest of the day. In the mountains to the north lay the ruins of this once powerful city. If you want to unlock the secrets of this book, you must take the book and find these ruins, for only then will it unlock the secrets of Kegheim. And you're like, wait a minute, what? That's all it says. It won't let you turn the page. It won't let you do anything.
quest. I guess we know what we're gonna have to do.
Now,
would you like me to explain what you probably are witnessing and is confusing you?
You know more about this?
No, I'm talking about the Balin. Probably doesn't know
Oh.
what we're looking at.
I
don't
thought
know
he
if
wandered off
he's
into another room.
no, he's next to you guys, but he's not really paying attention. So, Finn, what are you trying to find out about Coralon?
I want to know.
Everything, or
Sorry, my connection dropped a little bit, so I missed what Hadlin is saying. If Hadlin was asking me about the book, I do get into being funky.
okay,
My connection is being funky. I apologize.
Okay, so let's
I
cover...
would get interested if Hadlin mentions the book.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. So for Coralon, what do you get a book and you find the section on Coralon?
I'm just trying to figure out who the hell he is. I rolled a 7 on my religion.
Well, you're reading, yeah. So you see that Coralon is the as you read the book, he's the creator of the elves, the first of the Sildarian. He is he's the leader of the Avendor. His symbol is that of the crescent moon. His home realm, you learn that his home plane is Evander. He is of a good alignment, chaotic good. You see that his portfolio covers magic, music, arts, crafts, war, the elven race, poetry, bards, and warriors. Those are all his portfolios, which you're like... You see his domains. He covers chaos, elf, good, magic, protection, war. And you hear that Corian Larathian is his last name, is the leader of the Elven Pantheon, the Sundari, and the very rest of elves, and is said to have sprung from his pool during his many battles with Grumps of the Orc Pantheon. He embodies the highest ideals of Elven kind, working as a powerful war deity when needed. His longsword, Sebendrain, is made from a star, and protecting his chosen people with careful hands of an artisan. His worship emphasizes his protective and artisan aspects of his role as ruler of the elves. He watches over the borders of the elven land, guard elven communities, help shape their appearance of elven settlements, and create beautiful items for use within the community and trade without. Mainly, you don't really see his clerics are not really mentioned as much. It's there's no real church. Just the entire race of elves, the good elves, worship him. Clerics are there just as more of like people of knowledge and wisdom, and to kind of talk about his ideas of what might be there. Prayers you find out are done at night. Because of his main symbol being the moon. He is a non-evil deity, as you can tell from that he is considered chaotic good. He has there's all kinds of myth and legends of how he took Grumpsh's eye, how he's fought in all these different battles. You also get the story of the betrayal of Loth, and how that all transpires. There's different versions of it. And that is his main enemy. When you read this book, you get all the good people, all the good deities really love Coralon. All the bad deities really, really, really hate Coralon, and he hates and despises them too, and does everything he can to destroy their plans and defeat evil wherever it is. He's you can see that he's a god of war. He's a god of swordsmanship. He's also a god of artisans and beauty. And this kind of perks you up a little bit, Balin. He has his own magic. And this really catches your eye. Elven magic is called Elven High Magic, and he has his own they also have their own kind of magic that is separate from the weave. And the Coralon uses his own divine magic separate from the weave, from Mistra. But yeah, that's what unless there's anything specific, that's kind of an idea of who Coralon is.
Nope, that would be perfect. Exactly what I'm looking for.
Okay, and so you read that, and then the book thing happens. So you perk up when they read that out loud.
When Hadlin actually mentions, yeah.
Yeah, so you perk up, and from your reading of Coralon, you're like, okay. What did you say?
What exactly is this book, Hadlin?
Speaks of the lost dwarven city. And my ties, I think my people's tied to some form of magic or runic magic, it seems.
Did you find that book here?
No, it was given to me when I entered my service into the Cobalt Soul.
So is this a mission for the Cobalt Soul, or is this something for you?
As far as I know, it was trusted to me. I'm not supposed to report back to anyone if that's what you're asking.
And what are we to do with this information?
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm gonna go find it.
You have helped me come here, so I will gladly help you if you would like.
I'm sure I'll need lots of help. I would appreciate it.
Did you get this book at the Cobalt Soul here?
No.
So do we know where the north is that's being mentioned here?
I think I have an idea. But it's not going to be anywhere easy or anything. I mean, we can't even get past this first page. So, yeah.
That is fine. I kind of need something to get my mind off of what is happening in the tavern right now.
What do you think, Gritty? All right. Well, I mean, we don't need to stay in the library anymore. I guess we could just head back and see if anyone else wants to go, if they want to just stay here.
All right, before you guys go, then, what was the other information you wanted on Grog?
Grog and Arcan, where they are, trying to find their latest whereabouts.
So you want... The only thing you're able to find out about either of these characters is that the only book they have is the story of Vox Machina and some of their exploits. You read about Grog there. There's a book someone wrote about their adventures. It's from many years back. Doesn't tell you where Grog is or anything like that. It just tells you of his past exploits. He's part of Vox Machina. He fought Vecna. You know, the whole story that you go from Critical Role. That's the only thing it gives you. That, you know, who he is and all that kind of stuff. Archon, other than the Battle of Vecna, no one has seen him. No one's heard of him. No one knows a damn thing about him whatsoever. After he took the hand of Vecna, he was never seen or heard of again in the lands here. No one's had any mention of him that's written down anywhere. Ricky comes back and says, I couldn't find anything else other than this, sir. I'm sorry.
Thank you for trying. Then I'll look at Hadlin, and then I'm ready to go.
All right. you guys head back to the tavern. It's mid-afternoon. You guys weren't there too long, and you guys get back, and I guess the rest of you just been sitting in the tavern just chilling, or?
I mean, I've eaten 3 more plates of bacon, but yeah.
Yeah, while you're sitting there eating bacon, a little bit while later, you're just kind of chilling, hanging out with the bar. It's a slow day, and you see a monk come in from, looks like the Cobalt Soul.
I'll walk over to a booth sort of off in a corner.
Okay. It's a young woman, looks like she's 21, 22, and she's like, are you Mr. Reed Tea Leaf?
I am. Please have a seat.
All right. She sits down and she looks around and sees nobody's nearby. It's like, you mentioned a name that you were interested in?
I did.
All right. And then she slides over a piece of paper to you. And then she comes over and whispers and kind of looks at you serious. You owe us. And then she gets up and walks out.
Just before she leaves, after she whispered to me, I'll look to her and I'll say, any idea how much I owe you?
A favor.
Fair enough.
All right, and she gets up and walks out. You open the parchment, and written in there is to read. I've done research on your acquired target. This person was a member of the Service Assembly, but 10, 12 years ago, something happened. He was placed into the asylum for people with insanity, and then nothing was seen or heard of him for that entire time until recently. He's joined a group of adventurers called the Mighty Nine, and that's all we know about him at the moment that I'm allowed to say.
I'll take the note. On the top of it,
Mm-hmm.
I'll pull out a quill, bottle of ink, and I'll very considerately go and address it to Grayley and Bailey.
You notice that you start to do using the same piece of parchment?
I was going to try to, but what I'll do is I'll tap the ink a little bit in the corner.
Before you do that, you see that the wording starts to disappear.
Well, that's secretive, huh? I'll pull out a new piece of paper.
Okay.
I'll copy from memory what was written on it.
Yeah, it's still fresh in your mind.
Addressing it to Kelly and Bailey. I'll say, actually, just to Bailey, not Grayley.
Okay.
Right hole out that I found. I'll say, this is all I've been able to find so far. Let me know if you've heard of this Mighty Nine lot. I'll wrap it up and I'll toss it to the fireplace beside of the pub.
All right. A little bit while later, Shira, all you guys are there. Your group comes back. It's around dinner time. It's early supper, time, and you guys come back from your your excursion into the library, and you guys meet up again. So, do you guys share what you learned, or what's the conversation dictating now?
Awkward silence.
So, how's the library?
Lots of books.
That's usually the point of it, huh? Good to see it hasn't changed in 24 hours.
Do we know where our next point of travel is?
I think we'd debated going to see the town that spawned Balin. Otherwise, I'm fully in favor of leaving this continent.
Is Ashira still just sitting at the bar drinking?
Yeah, unless she came over. Sure, what are you doing?
I am sitting in the corner, drinking and mumbling to myself and shrugging and going through various stages of my transformation.
So Togar's gonna nudge Balin and ask if he noticed. Balin, did you see on?
It was fairly noticeable, right? Ranger, it was
What?
fairly noticeable, the
What?
years.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yes, I noticed.
How do you do that?
Well, you do
I
know.
don't know.
You guys do know Dweomers and magic spells that you can change your appearance and stuff like that. But there are some permanent kind of spells that you can change your appearance. I mean, that's not unheard of. With this world of magic and stuff. So some are illusion based, some can be temporary, some can be permanent. Changes can happen in people's appearance and stuff.
I don't know what she did.
When a Raven Queener is reborn, you do what?
I don't know what any of this is.
So, make a religion check there, Balin.
Okay.
You're well studied, so I'll let you do this.
18?
Yeah, it's not quite unheard of. There are cleric spells that do resurrection. People do it all the time. I mean, you've read about stuff where it's like they just had a grain of their sand, and as long as you had some items of the person, you could always resurrect them within a time constraint, right? However, you've also done with your studies, gods can do all kinds of crazy stuff. This is not that unheard of. You're reminded of the story. You're reading about this too when you were doing your studies today, that the story of Vex and Vax, the elven twins that fought against Vecna. Vax was actually brought back temporarily by the Raven Queen. So it's not unheard of for somebody to come back after they've died like this. One to be resurrected or however it is. What's different about this is you've never heard of another god taking someone else's follower and bringing them back. That's the piece that you don't quite understand. It's not out. I mean, it's a god. It's Corlon. You know enough about him that he's exceptionally powerful. Could easily do something like this. Why? You don't have a answer to those questions, but for the religious context of it, you can understand that. Oh, it's well within his realm to do it. He has the power and the ability to do something like this.
Yeah, I've heard of things happening like this before, but I don't know what Ashira has done.
Here, once she figures it out, she'll tell us.
Okay. Well, then I guess we go on Johnny's walk or on Reed's walk.
To Balin's hometown.
That seems to be your plan du jour.
Let's
go see what kind of mustard they got.
I mean, Balin, did you want to go? I mean, it's your hometown.
I'm gonna look at Hadlin. Is it better that we stay here or go back?
Ranger, I don't exactly know where I'm supposed to start, whether it's on one continent or the other, or if I even know necessarily. But
make a history check for me.
All right. Can I give myself guidance? Hey, no one's giving me inspiration or helping me, man.
No one knows that you're thinking about this, so no.
Yeah. No, I have guidance. I do have guidance. Like, I have the spell. I've just never used it yet.
No, this is just
this is
trying to pull something, so no, not on this one.
Okay.
Woo!
Jesus
Damn!
Christ.
Yeah! Didn't even need it.
What a good timing.
See, now,
Perfect
aren't you glad I'm
time.
rolling the ones to suck up your ones there.
All right, so Hadlin, it's like you have this premonition that you think visiting the Cobalt Soul back in Zadash might be a good place to start. You just have this feeling.
Looks like we're going back to Zadash.
I'm fine with that. There's really nothing in my hometown, so we can just get the hell out of here.
I look to Reed and I say, "You sure you don't want to check the shops here before we leave? Won't be back on this continent anytime soon."
Reed, so here's the thing about this place, about Vasselheim, that you've done some snooping and pooping. You had some time on your hands, Reed. Being the little rogue that you are, and just you go out and you've gone out a couple times in the day just to get a feel of the place. You didn't know this before, but you do now. Arcane magic is completely frowned upon here in Vasselheim. And the shops, if you want to find anything, it's going to be really black market, and it's really expensive, and it's hard to get. Potions, divine magic, fine. Things like that. That's not hard to get. Potions are fine, that kind of stuff. You're not going to find any kind of like magic shops here because arcane magic is just, for like the entire population of this continent does not trust it. They don't want it around unless they have to. It is almost like it's against the law to actually use higher arcane magic in this city, which kind of took you by surprise. Divine magic, absolutely, totally fine, and other stuff is fine, but wizard, sorcery, none of that stuff's allowed.
Anything that's sort of not direct god type magic is unliked here. So I think that for the most part, anything you'd be looking to get a hold of, if you want a finely made sword, you probably are in good shape, but anything that's magically imbued with abilities from an arcane nature, not so likely. You can't necessarily really blame them. We're within a generation of a giant, pissed off wizard undead thing, kind of trying to kill them all. So,
So what you're really saying is that Lucky Charms aren't allowed here because they're magically delicious.
But how are the sandwiches?
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that.
Grim doesn't actually say that because he can't speak all of a sudden.
But as long as they're frosted, they're still fine.
There's no Lucky Charms mentioned. Ray, get out of here.
But, so in general, it's a lot of it's fairly taboo.
The only thing I'm really looking for is that we could buy was maybe a really fine set of full plate, but I don't know if we'll find that here. If it was made by a dwarf, the better, but I don't know if there's any dwarven smiths here.
You didn't really get a good sense of that here, Reed. It's a lot of trade stuff goes through here, but it's a different kind of culture and society, and with not the arcane works. You can get potions and stuff, and they do have armor here, but you think in the other continents and lands you might be able to find something better.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, when I was walking around looking, eye gazing shops and all, the armor smiths that I saw, they were good, but hell, they're better off back there where we grew up.
So you think? Sounds like to me.
Maybe we head back home for a while. Certainly, we go on over to some of the dwarven settlements. You know you'll find a good smith there.
We do have a little bit more money than we did before, and that was part of my goals too. So
Yeah.
maybe if we could look for some work or something, that might not be a bad idea.
All right. Will the rest of you say anything, do anything?
I know I got to train Balin how to do something else other than carry rocks.
Yeah, you guys started on the sword training.
Well, now that they're priests, don't you guys have to, like, I don't know, report back or get a job or work in a temple or something? What does being a priest have, like, how does that change your adventuring lifestyle?
Just changes our rank with the Raven Queen.
Oh, so
Means that if there's more that the Raven Queen needs done, that we might be the ones called on, where previously our superiors would be.
Well, I mean, does Drum's mom need you guys to check in with her?
We can head back over there and check in with her.
might be really worthwhile going back to Zadash. Do you think we can get one of those teleporty things from up here? I mean, it's a really long trip otherwise.
Well, I mean, we
contacted the Raven Queen to see if they can send us back, since they brought us here in the first place.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Definitely.
All right. Anything else where you guys go get a night's rest?
I'm gonna go to the temple, Raven Queen temple.
Okay, you go to the temple. Anybody else?
I'll go with them.
All right, Drom, you and Balin go to the temple. Anybody else?
I'm gonna go out for a little bit of a stroll.
All right, you go for it.
As it's dark, I want to go to some of the darker areas of town, not too far away. And I just want to see, are there muggers or criminals or anything around?
All right, you're gonna try to do this stealthily.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, roll stealth check.
At 14.
I mean, you're trying to be. I mean, for the most part, I mean, no one's really paying you any mind. You go to like what you think is a little bit rougher area, but it's more poor in the sense that it's not wealthy. But it's kind of like lower middle class in this area. A lot of buildings and stuff have been rebuilt. You can tell just from the structure from many years ago. Just you can tell what are the older buildings and what are the newer built buildings. And because of the random nature of, like, you know, the damage and stuff, you see what repairs are done, things of that nature. You kind of observe that. For the most part, you see the City Watch does a pretty good job here. You've also seen that they're really good about patrolling and stuff. So if there's any kind of activity, it's not really tolerated here, especially being that there's so many priests and stuff like that. They just don't put up with that nonsense here. If you're going to do it, you better do it way, way off the books. You know, way not in the streets or alleys and stuff like that, because too many eyes are watching. You know, I mean, you see some shady deals happening here and there, but nothing totally uncouth. We're like, I mean, it's typical. You see exchange of money for something here and exchange of money for something there, but nothing that catches your eye. Like, nah, you know, crime's lower here than you would expect.
That's good. All right.
All right. Drom and Balin, you get to the temple. You're able to walk in. You guys walk in, and there's a person waiting for you.
Before we get in, is it just me and Drom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before we go into the temple, I'm going to kind of put my hand up to stop Drom. What the hell happened with Ashira?
That's a good question. I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
Did she basically say that the Raven Queen raped her?
That's what she said. I'm as confused as you are.
Can I ask you, Drom, what did you see in your vision?
It's kind of a sensitive matter. I'll fill you in later on. I'd prefer to not think about that right now.
But Well, I can at least tell you mine. Mine also had, I think, maybe something similar to Ashira. There was another deity that tried to make me choose him over the Raven Queen. However, mine was a little bit of an easier choice because you could probably guess who it was that was trying to tempt me.
Well, it's quite obvious. You've told us about it before with your hand.
And I did not pick him, but I'm wondering what this Coralon actually does with Ashira. This was supposed to be a test of our faith, and somehow her faith was shaken, and I don't know what Coralon has to do with it, and I'm honestly too afraid to ask her.
I think the best thing to do right now is just keep an eye on her.
Do you know much about Coralon?
Make a religion check, Drum.
Yep, that's what I was just pulling up the character sheet to do.
Wait, didn't you roll a 1 on that earlier already?
Well,
was
to
on
recognize the
looking at
symbol, he didn't
symbol.
recognize the symbol.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he didn't recognize who it was. He just had a brain fart.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah. You've heard of Coralon. I mean, it's not that hard to know who he is. Not as in depth as Balin just learned, but you know he's the chief deity of the elves. Good guy. You know, chaotic good. You know the basics of it.
Well, Hadlin did help me a little bit in the library. I did learn a little bit more about him, and I'll kind of give him a rundown of all this.
You tell him all this
So,
stuff.
so he tells me that that's what the symbols and stuff were on her armor and everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
he does the whole thing.
Well, that at least explains the pointy ears.
But how did she go into the trial with the Raven Queen and come out more of an elf?
Just then, as you guys are standing outside talking, you hear a voice behind you. Would you like to know the answers?
Oh, look to see who it is.
It's one of the elven twins. She's got her
Right,
hood
so
down and she's looking at you like,
How long have you been standing there?
oh, about a couple minutes. She just starts laughing.
Outstanding.
I figured you two would be back.
I'd be
How's it-
lying if I said I didn't want to know.
Well,
I will try to answer what I can for you guys. Would you like to do it out here? Or would you like to go inside and have me answer your questions there?
Well, for one, is it a nice day outside?
It's a beautiful night.
Oh, beautiful night. Let's take a walk outside and talk, if that's okay.
Sure, we can walk. She's like, we can walk the grounds. She talks in a way that even though you can tell she's elven, she does not have that, kind of elfish dialect that you're used to hearing. That high.
Oh, she's not all stuck up like most elves?
Most elves are not stuck up.
I'm joking.
Okay, but she starts walking with you guys. It's like, so, your questions. I will answer what I can.
Was the choice that we actually saw in our tests real?
Oh, it was very real.
So if we had chosen differently, what we would have agreed to would have actually happened?
Possibly. The trial is different for everyone. It's a test of faith. Do you have faith in the Raven Queen, or will your path be different?
How do you determine what the different path is?
We don't determine what the different path is. It is something that has been set up by higher powers than me for this trial, and many of us have all gone through it. Every single one of us that's a priest or higher has gone through this. Sometimes the choices are different. But in the end, it's a life or death choice. Do you serve and give your life to the Raven Queen, or do you die? We are, in fact, priests and archpriestess of the Lady of Death. Have we not forgotten that, gentlemen?
I have not.
Yeah, but speaking about that, how is she still alive?
Yeah, that was a little perplexing for me. We got news of that. She just starts shaking her head.
I mean, do you guys still have the body?
We do not. This caused us some consternation. After you had left, the body was there. Everything was being prepared, the rituals. I tell you this in good faith. We would give her the holy rites and burial that she deserves. And see her, make sure that her soul was taken to the proper place in the afterlife. However, in my hundreds of years of existence, I have a theory. Would you gentlemen like to hear it?
I would.
My theory
By all
is
means.
she has some kind of connection to Corlon in some way. What that is, I don't know. Corlon, and you must understand, she did die, but Corlon brought her back. Or she let Corlon bring her back. One or the other. And I can't give you any answers on that because gods are strange beings. We serve them and they serve us. It's always, but who can really know? I mean, the gods they're not infallible. They have their reasons, but I mean, they see things that we don't and have longer term visions of things, and so that's my guess. But
Is
yeah,
the lady not the god over the afterlife once someone dies?
she's one of them, yes.
How many of them are there?
You'd be surprised. The elves have their own version of Sahanin Moonbeam is actually the person that transports souls for the elves back into Evander, if they are so allowed to go. The Raven Queen handles all souls, but there's so many different strange relationships and makeup and pacts and things that the gods do. And the Lady of the Night, Lady of the Winter, the Lady of Death, she has her function just like the other gods have their function. Whether it be beauty or war or the weather, who knows? You guys continue to walk around for a minute or two in silence, and she looks at you. So, what else can I answer for you, gentlemen?
How can we get back to the dash?
I figure that would be a question too. I will teleport you back to Zadash.
Can we do so in the morning with the rest of our party?
You can. You're a priest of the Raven Queen. You have all rights and privileges to use the same teleportation circles and stuff that we have. What's ours is yours, and what's yours is ours. Brothers and sisters and all.
Thank you very much, and I'll bow.
She bows back. And then she looks at you, Drom. Any other questions from you, my fine, handsome half-orc behemoth?
Oh, this is going to be interesting to inform the high priest of our temple in Zadash.
I'm sure you will, and Natal will handle it like she always does.
Yeah, that might be painful for me, though.
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't know her as well as I do.
Yeah, but there's certain lines she won't cross. You are now elevated to a priest. Comes with a little bit more responsibility, but also a little bit more standing. You might want to get your backbone up a little bit more there, Sir Drom. She kind of taps you on the shoulder.
One last question for you from me.
Of course.
Is Annabella here?
She looks at you strange. Who is Annabella?
She's a cleric of a Raven Queen that was in Vasselheim.
That must have been before my time. I don't think she is, but I can find out if she's not where she went.
If you could, please.
Absolutely.
Sorry, please continue, Drum.
Anything else, Mr. Drumzall?
Oh, that's all I had.
And I must tell you, gentlemen, you're now priests of the Raven Queen. Sure, your adventurers, you fight undeath, but remember, look out for those that are suffering. Transition those into death. That is one of your primary roles now as you travel. Giving last rites, making sure that everything is good for the afterlife if you can, if the situation allows. And she smiles at you again and she looks at you, Drum, and do what you do. And she starts giggling. And she says, now if you will excuse me, I've got some things to do. So come to us in the morning. We will get you back to Zadash.
Thank you very much.
All right. You guys travel back at night. It's a beautiful start at night. Ashira, you drink and drink and drink until I guess you're going to eventually go to your room and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I see them leave to go to the temple, and I start crying again.
All right.
Whereas before I was just kind of mumbling and shrugging my shoulders and
yeah.
touching my ears.
Hadelin stays, doesn't go to where the table where she's at, but he stays near her.
Okay.
Because he tries to make sure that when people, separate like this, that no one gets left alone.
Sure. You make out, and then she eventually just she's had enough, she's had her fill, she kind of stumbles upstairs to the rooms that you guys have, and you just kind of throw some of your gear off, you get your armor off, you throw your sword off, and get your boots off, and then you're just kind of laying there. Doesn't take you long to fall asleep, you just pass out. As you sit there asleep, your consciousness drifts away, and then you feel yourself peacefully drifting, and before you know it, you awaken in this beautiful garden area. You hear music playing lightly. You look around, and you're in a nice white and blue robe, and you see off to one side you see a couple of elven musicians playing the lute, playing the flute, playing lovely music. And then you see, sitting in a nice comfortable chair, there's Corlon, and he is sitting in his robes. He's just sitting in robes and just kind of sitting back and enjoying the ambiance and the nature. There's birds just singing. It's a beautiful garden. There's a little bit of a fountain that's running water and stuff. And he's like, oh, finally, Ashira, I'm glad you're here. And he stops the music. He's like, we need, and they bow, and he goes off, and he looks at you. He pats this big comfy cushy. I mean, it's gorgeously designed. I mean, it's got leaves and all kinds of stuff in it. I mean, you think this thing must be worth a fortune, and then you go. He's like, pats the side. All right, come on over. Let's have a chat.
I kneel, and then I get up and I walk.
Stop. None of that. Come on. You have questions.
I get up, I walk over there, and
only do that if we're in court, okay? He starts laughing. So, I can tell that you're not happy. I must apologize. This is a dream. This is my construct. I've brought you here. We can be open with one another. I didn't have much of a chance last time because the necessity of the situation to do what I had to do. And I've been dealing with that after effect for a couple days now in my time. But I'm here to answer your questions as best I can.
I'm not sure that the questions I ask can be answered by someone else. It's hard being one person all your life and then to wake up one morning and be somebody else?
I'm aware. I've done that many times in my life. I've been everything from a gaseous cloud to a deer in the woods to lots of different things to experience different things of the realms. It's quite invigorating, actually.
Well, this is my first time. I I things are different now, and I don't know how they work yet. And
Well, let's get to that real quick. Ashira, I don't want you to be anything but yourself. Do what you do.
once I know what that is, I'm sure I will do it.
Well, you are now a champion of mine. If that makes you feel a little better. Fight
Well,
evil, protect the innocent, drink good wine, enjoy life, kill some more evil, drink some more wine, make love, whatever it is you want. Pray to me, not pray to me. But the power that you have does not come from me, dear. As my holy warrior, your true power is all from within you. I can grant you a few spells here and there, but your true power that you possess has always been inside you. I just prevented that usurper, and you see him kind of snarl a little bit, from stealing it and taking advantage of it.
I am sure someday I will know that, but that usurper is all I've known all my life, and
Yeah, I mean,
it was very
yes.
sudden. It was very sudden, and I'm feeling a little lost.
Well, that's why I said, do you have questions?
I don't have questions. I'm settling into who I've turned into and mourning
Well,
that part of me that died.
Well, yes. That part of you that served the Raven Queen died, but you as who you truly are, your actual personality. That's why I did what I did and did it the way I did. So the essence of who you are, the good person that I know you to be, is there. That's not going away ever.
Do you know why I was born in Assamir?
Oh, yes, I can tell you how that works. So, it's basically celestial blood. Demons and devils have the same thing that happens. There's fiendish and celestial blood. Once someone consummates a relationship, initially the person is born that way. If an angel makes love to a, say, mortal, the child will become Astamar, part angelic, celestial. Now, once it's in the family line, it can skip generations and it can always pop back up. So, just like with the fiendish bloodline, it can do the same thing. You can have 3 or 4 generations where nothing happens, and all of a sudden the blood kicks in, and next thing you know, you've got yourself a little cute Azamar Ashira running around.
Not because I was born to fulfill a certain purpose, or
No, I didn't have a purpose for you other than just to be yourself.
and that is why you interceded on my behalf?
Yes.
But why?
Because I'm selfish. Because I'm all about free will. I'm all about you making your choices. That was taken away from you. But you also have power within you, and I wanted you to explore that. And that was taken from you. Forcibly. I don't blame the Raven Queen, but she sure in the hell didn't stop herself when it was presented to her, which infuriates me. The Raven Queen serves her purpose. I don't really have any beefs with her, other than the fact that she is too power hungry for my liking, so I've got my eye on that one. Her portfolio and strength has risen in the last years, and so I'm keeping my eye on things. Although I've got my eye on lots of things, so... But if you want to stop adventuring and get married and have kids, I'll still love you the same. You have the choice to do whatever it is you feel is necessary. I've just given you the tools to continue what you are doing now, to have the power to make a difference, to unlock that abilities. But you can do with it whatever you like.
Thank you very much.
It's no problem. And then he offers you a cup of wine. You must try this. It's quite delicious. You take a sip of wine and then the dream fades away and then you go into nothingness. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. So there we go. All right. So thank you guys for joining us for D&D. So if you guys enjoy this, we do this every Saturday. So for the first weekend Saturday of the month, we have ladies' nights. So you've seen some of these lovely ladies there with Ashira and Critty. They hang out and just appreciate women in gaming. So if you like this, feel free to sub, feel free to hit the follow button, all that good stuff. So we'll be back next Saturday for some more Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. So on behalf of myself and the lovely cast, have a great rest of your night, and we will holler at you later. Peace out.